And Chappie's gonna find the knife onto the people smoking some extra damage. Wait, Davo's coming out. Ward right now, that's the top, that's the angle. He finds the first, and then transfers to the second. How did we survive? Takes out the ADM with one. Nice. Oh! No position right now. His diver comes up in one. Some near information, and he hits the full meeting of the bullets, so he delivers 180 attack. And that's the fourth lad come through though, and there they go, hit the kill on lady, and they will fail. Oh my god, how did I doubt him? He gets himself 4 kills. The retreat, he's gonna be for one on the spray, get 2 in 1 minute, he's gonna get the third. Oh man. Oh, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the winners bracket final, ATK versus Goliath Gaming. The top 2 teams in South African Counter-Strike are going to be locking horns here once again for a spot in the grand final of EGL 1 Season 2. Nick, these are the games we live for here in South African Counter-Strike. These are the games that get the juices flowing, get the blood pumping, and get the entertainment flowing. Man, oh man, I'm looking forward to this game. And if anything's recent game between these 2 teams was to go by, this is going to be a banger.
Yeah, dude, I love it when I'm on HLTV on the front page and you see the little thing in today's matches and you look down a little bit and you see some South African flags.
Yeah.
It fills me with joy. And I mean, ATK and Goliath, they probably had the most features on HLTV. Probably about the last year and a half or so. They've pretty much been the two teams at the top of the Counter-Strike scene in SA, and I mean, tonight is going to be as juicy as it has been in the past.
Oh, it absolutely is, Nick. As you say, ATK definitely have been the team that's sort of setting the tone the most on HLTV, but Goliath Gaming have had the opportunities as well. I mean, we have to say, this has been a rivalry that's been going on for it's what's coming on about a year now, by the way. Like, it's actually, we've had about a full year of this ATK versus Goliath Gaming storyline. It's nearly come full circle. And Goliath Gaming, they just haven't had their moment in the sun yet, Nick. Is this going to be their opportunity? I mean, it's been getting closer and closer. They're starting to look convincing. They've had their individuals seem to have elevated their game on the side of Goliath Gaming at the moment. And it certainly seems to be testing ATK that much more. Is tonight going to be the night is the big question. You know, winning a map is one thing, but is winning the series a realistic prospect here?
Yeah, I mean, you have to go way back when until ATK lost the best of 3, which was probably towards the start of their tenure when they were still probably messing around with things. Even if they did, I don't know, in all honesty, if this ATK team has lost the best of 3.
I think that, but it was like a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, so like it was way back in when they just formed, and then they made like a roster change with dropping Doru, or Doru leaving rather, and Mango getting picked up. And I think the same thing with Goliath. They've had a bit of roster changes in the recent past. They were delving in with the Adaro Zip Zip combo, then the Zip Zip Massacre combo, and they've seemed to settle on this Adaro Massacre sort of dynamic duo with Elusive, Dweezil, and ADM rounding out the roster. And ATK, and I mean rather Goliath, they're looking really good as of recent. They've had super close performances against ATK. Obviously, we're going to touch on last night, but it's as close as it's ever been, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, in all honesty, I think previously it was like, oh yeah, maybe Goliath will get it to 25 plus rounds. But now the conversation is, can Goliath take a map? Can Goliath win the series? That's the sort of conversation we're getting to now, which all props to Goliath. They make it a lot more competitive than the past.
It seems like taking a map is like, it's inevitable at this point. Like, it's going to be happening sometime soon. Taking a series is going to be a different story, but it does feel like it is becoming, you know, more doable for Goliath Gaming. Like, I'd say 4 or 5 months ago, ATK were just like so far ahead of them, but that gap's definitely been closing. And Nick, it kind of feels like, of course, it's, you know, obviously, I suppose Elusive is starting to really take effect on this team. I say starting to, but the effect is definitely, you know, having its impact, and we can see how evident it actually is in the server with this Goliath Gaming roster. And now let's talk a little bit more about the individuals, because there's been a couple players who have really impressed me recently, and it's three main names on the Goliath Gaming team. It's Massacre, Adaro, and ADM. The three of them seem to have actually all elevated their individual game recently. Adaro in particular, really. Since he's come back into this roster, he's kind of looked like a different player, kind of like the prospect we all saw him as, 18 months ago. And it's a very exciting prospect at that.
Yeah, I think definitely. Like when you say those three names, it's sort of like music to my ears, especially when you haven't even mentioned Elusive and Dweezil. Obviously, exactly. Dweezil played phenomenally towards the end of last year with the NMK, and then he got brought into this Goliath roster. And Elusive, obviously, his experiences, as you've said, helped this team in leaps and bounds. He sort of got them to play the Counter-Strike that he wants them to play, and now the results are showing for it. They've had a real solid run of results. Obviously, ATK has been the only team that's been sort of the chink in their armor, but I think ADM showing up tonight is going to be a very, very big X factor for Goliath if they are going to take the map or take a map or even take the series. I think if ADM doesn't show up, then Massacre's going to have to step up even more. But there's a lot of things that could go right for Goliath. I think if ADM, Adaro, and Massacre are firing at all cylinders, then it's going to be as competitive as ever. Because then you've got ADM, Adaro, and Massacre against Mistim, Slowy, and Fady, and then it's like, who's going to win out in those three? That 3v3, who's going to win it out? And
you didn't even say Mango's name, Nick.
Exactly,
I mean, it just shows you there's so much firepower on the server tonight, and that's what we love about these games. Is there's no weak links on either of these teams, and what that means is it requires the best out of every single individual on the team, right? And that's why it's tough to be successful against the likes of ATK, Nick, because if you even have only 4 of your 5 players performing at the top of their game, that's not enough. That is not enough. Yeah. You need all 5 players to be properly contributing, and if you do have that one weak link, ATK will exploit it. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a tough ask to go up against this ATK team, but it seems like the gap's being closed. However, we've also been saying that for a while. It's been a long time coming. So we need to keep in mind that ATK just always seem to find a way to win, even when they might be behind or they need to make a comeback happen. They have this winner's mentality. I think that's something Spray's definitely brought into the team as well. He has a large impact on the direction of this team and tries to help them sort of further their advancements in terms of the way that they want to go in the Counter-Strike they want to play, trying to take on a style that will be successful and appropriate for their international endeavors as well, not only for local success, which is of course a far lower standard than what they'll be coming up against once they do make the trip.
Yeah, I think it's extremely important to think about these two teams, because last night, obviously, it came close. 16-11 and 16-14 were the results of the two maps. Inferno and Mirage were the two maps played out. Unfortunately for I don't know if it's unfortunately for ATK's case that the veto's been switched up. There's been a bit of a substitute in maps, if you will. But last night got close. 16-11, I mean. Okay, maybe 5 rounds difference, but 16-14, that's all 30 rounds of Counter-Strike have been played. And ATK won that out. They won out both maps last night. For those of you who don't know, it was the finals of the ESC Intermediate Division, and ATK won it out 2-0. But, as I said, extremely close Counter-Strike. Tonight, we're not going to be seeing Inferno in the first 2 maps, and Dust 2 has actually been swapped into the veto.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the change Goliath Gaming have made coming into this series itself. They've decided to bring Dust 2 to the fore instead of Inferno. I mean, I guess it's okay. Both of the maps are still pretty comfortable for ATK. I mean, personally, I think I've always been a little bit more impressed by Goliath Gaming on Inferno than I have been on Dust 2. But I guess that, I understand their school of thought. They have to try different things as well. They're going to be playing against them probably in the grand final as well. I mean, they will have to go up against DNMK if they lose the series tonight, which is by no means a foregone conclusion. But yeah, they're going to test out different things and test the waters and see how it goes. I'm keen to see this Dust 2 map play out between these two teams. Nick, we've spoken about the firepower on both of these rosters. To see them going head-to-head on Dust 2, the crazy fragging prowess that's going to be playing out in front of us, it's going to be a great game, man. I mean, there's not many matchups like this in South African Counter-Strike where you just have so much fragging power just stacked up on top of each other.
Yeah, and I think, as I said prior, I think ADM is going to be one of the massive contributors. He likes to look towards the upper B tunnels on Dust 2, and he's an absolute nuisance towards that side of the map. You're uncomfortable rotating through CT spawn, because next thing you're going to get shot in the side of the head from mid doors, and next thing you know, when you're rotating, you're getting shot in the back of the head when you're leaving B, and then Goliath are going to plant the bomb in the view bomb sites. And one thing they do, which I think is quite interesting, is they'll default over towards long, they'll throw the long smokes, and then they'll cut noise. They'll walk across, and then when the smokes fade, they flash, they pop, and that's when they're going to try to catch ATK off guard. However, one thing with ATK is they definitely prepare coming into these games, no doubt in my mind. So I think they definitely have a really good idea. I don't know if they expected the veto to go exactly the same as last night, so we'll have the opportunity if ATK win. Well, I'm definitely going to pose that question. Was that they think that the veto was going to be exactly the same? Obviously, a bit of a change up, but I think it is going to be extremely interesting as that Dust 2 matchup, because we haven't seen these two play each other in Dust in quite some time. It's been the same sort of thing. Mirage Inferno, Mirage Vertigo. Those have been the two sort of maps thrown in the conversation. And Dust 2, that could be the X factor that Goliath needs to take it to the third.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, right? It could be the X factor. I mean, we're going to see how it plays out. Of course, we will have Mirage first up. Now, when these two teams did play against each other in Mirage on the during that ESCA final, it was actually a fairly close game. ATK managed to win that out 16-14. They were ahead like 15-10 at one stage, and then Goliath Gaming actually started to win a couple of rounds back on the T side. ADM actually was having a lot of impact as well. They brought it all the way to 15-14, and then they just got shut down in the final round. So, yeah, I mean, I guess Mirage is still a confidence point here for Goliath Gaming is what I'm saying. Is it's not like, oh, okay, guys, we're playing into a map that we know we have no chance. On the T side, they've shown that they can still make moves and go up against the might of ATK. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this, man. I'm really, really looking forward to this series. Elusive has consistently spoken about wanting to beat ATK as well. So, and you must know, Elusive is a proud guy, man. Like, this is a guy who's achieved a lot in Counter-Strike. We're talking about somebody who went overseas, lived there for a year, played against some of the best teams in the world, played in a European LAN event. They came second, beating some amazing teams. This is a guy who's now come back here. He doesn't like being second best, Nick. He doesn't like losing out to some team like ATK regularly. So you must know how much it means to him to come here and try and pick up the win. They're going to be pushing hard for this, man.
Yeah, I think Goliath are going to be as hungry as ever. Obviously, the time is running low for them to get the opportunity to beat ATK. We know ATK's long-term plan are to move overseas. So Goliath, they're running out of time. They got to be the team who goes, you know, when they win South Africa, we beat them. And they've only got a couple. They've got a little time left. So Elusive is he's going to be chomping at the bit. There's so many people who have been ex-teammates with one another. Obviously, Mistim and ADM have played on a team together. Dweezil and Mistim have played on a team together. There's so many people who have been ex-teammates, and the rivalry in the server's fire. It's fire.
Yeah. Nick, I just want to add on something you were saying there about how Goliath would love to say, yeah, we beat ATK just before they departed. In 2017, at the start of the year, so at the end of 2017 was when Bravado left, and they were there for the year of 2018. Bravado was sort of winning throughout the most of 2017, and then right at the end of the year was the ESL Africa LAN at Rage, the second stage of the event, the second season, and Bravado got beaten by Energy 3-0 at the LAN, and then a few weeks after that was when Bravado ended up leaving. So the taste in everybody's mouth was like, oh damn, you know, going and moving to America and you're not even the best team in your own country type of thing, you know. So it was pretty rough because Bravado, you know, had proven in all the events before that they were, but just on that departing note, Energy just gave them that last little twist of the spanner, you know. So
yeah, it's sort of pat on the back that was just a little bit extra hard, you know, like show it, be proud, you know, go fly the South African flag, even though we beat you, like we beat you in the best of 5 in the final of South Africa. But, you know,
and of course Elusive was in that Bravado team, right? Now he's on the opposite side. Now he's in the Goliath team. He's in the team looking to try and beat the team that are going to be going overseas. So the tables have come full circle. And we will... Oh, the turns table, SMH my head. We're going to be getting into this game soon enough, guys. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Glad that we took a little bit of extra time here to talk about this game, because there's a lot of interesting talking points about an ATK versus Goliath specialty. I just want to LAN, bro. I just want to see these two teams on LAN going up against each other. It's actually, do you know it's actually criminal that we're not going to have seen this ATK team on LAN? It is actually criminal that we would never ever have seen this ATK team perform on LAN, because it'll always be that thing. Is like, what would have happened? What would have happened?
Yeah, I was just about to bring up Blaze, and I'm a massive fan of what he does. I think he's the selfless player on the ATK side, and I think if he pops off, Goliath are going to be scary. Last night he popped off. He went 31-18 on Mirage, and as soon as you mentioned LAN, I remembered Comic-Con finals, Blaze dropping
Blaze.
That's all I remembered, and I was like, dude, just one last time, just please.
I know. Mistim as well, another incredible LAN player. One of the best in the country is Mistim for sure. Fady always pops off on LANs. Slowy, you know, Slowy's never been the type of player that he is now in any of his teams gone by, you know. Sometimes he's been a hybrid AWPer, he's been a rifler, he's playing that big 5 team, a completely different setup. So I'd love to have seen the current Slowy on LAN as well. Like, I feel like we've been robbed, Nick, as we have been by so many things of this nightmare pandemic, man. Seriously.
Daylight robbery in the dark because of
at least the show's gone on though, right? I mean, really, everyone's like, oh, online era doesn't count. I mean, we have to be realistic. This is the best that we can do. The show must go on, and thankfully for esports, we've been able to make it go on here. So, we're going to be jumping into the pistol round soon enough here. Mirage, guys, welcome. This is the Evesports EGL 1 Season 2 Winners Bracket Final. This has been an event that's been getting played out over the past 8 weeks to get to this point. We started off with 16 teams. There's only just 3 teams left remaining here. They played it out over the double elimination bracket every Tuesday and Thursday. We featured a best of 3 here on the stream. And we finally reached this point where there's only 3 games and 3 teams remaining. So, everything to play for here. 50,000 rand prize pool. And Nick, we're jumping straight into the pistol round, brother.
Oh my goodness, dude! I'm so excited, dude. We speak about not having to cast best of 3s. Obviously, last night was the first lucky time we were actually able to cast 3 maps. And my goodness, am I hoping it's going to be the same tonight.
Yeah, you know, my internet had to go and
true.
Trip itself up just as we get the 3 mappers. So hopefully that won't happen again here tonight. We hold thumbs. Goliath Gaming turning up the pace here. Massacre opens up onto players, and they're just going to be rushing into this A side, but there's numbers on the defense for ATK as well. They've got the players in position. Mango tapping away, actually uncharacteristically misses a bunch of shots. Pivots 180, won't be missing a Daro. Gets a second crack at the apple as well, but Fady robs him like a thief in the night. Mango won't mind, however, and Massacre, the player who started things off in the round, won't be getting anything further done. Nick, how's that? Goliath find the opening pick, and that's all they get done in the round.
Like, listen, 1, 2, 3, you're at my door, please leave, thank you. Gets 3 1-taps, and Goliath lose the round just as fast as they got the opening pick. Blaze caught napping towards Connector. Next thing you know, they're trying to entry A. There's actually 2 more players that ultimately stopped Goliath at their tracks, and just like that, ATK post their first map. Obviously, Barrage, it is ATK's pick. Mango's flashed. Surely he's eco farming here. 1, 2, 3. Love that. Get that SMG kills, the confidence boosters. Mango.
Oh, beautiful.
4 of him.
Yeah, I mean, so Fady robbed him a little bit in the previous round, but he made up for it there by letting him pick up the quad kill. And you know, sometimes maybe a bit of attention to detail. If you've got the rifle and you can see the SMG player is going to get the frag, maybe you let him get it because, you know, you get a bit of extra cash as well. You know, sometimes, Nick, those small little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, you get double the reward bonus when you get kills with an SMG rather than the rifle, so it's going to be interesting. But as we say, the economy of Counter-Strike, yes, ATK have won 2 in a row, but now they want some SMGs, and that's why they're going to try to get something done. Blaze dropped over towards lowers, and ADM should tap slowly through the smoke. Karaoke 5 is the tag, and mad respect. So Goliath found themselves 2 men to the good. And if you're ATK now, you know you're not gonna win the round if you just stack 2 on the one side to 1 on the other. You got to try gamble stack, try make a play. Massacre's found missed him in the smoke, and ATK there looks like they've lost their first round. Fady's actually gonna clear B rather. It's not really gonna help because it's still gonna go at A, and there's 1 person there. Hear about the time Mango held down the A side?
I mean, not a fairly familiar position, right? On the stairs, MP9 in hand. I mean, yeah, different weapon.
Do you remember it? Like, he waited upstairs.
Yeah.
Waited for the flank CT. Actually, it never came. But he's actually decided to push Connector and kill the guy top mid. That's actually exactly what happened. And then he came back, traded up to the AK, got 3 men on the spray down, last guy flanking CT, couldn't get anything done, and Mango aces. That's how it goes.
I haven't been watching my demos, man. I haven't, I'm not brushed up on my knowledge as you are, man. Mango, with the job to do, yeah, he's already been spot on how he loses Fady, and Nick, I don't know if you're dreaming or I'm not watching my demos, but that certainly didn't go down the way we anticipated.
It was a different ATK.
Yeah, no.
Get them mixed up all the time.
2-1, Goliath Gaming. They only lose 1 player in that round, Nick. That was clean as well, right? That was just players finding their frags. Nothing too special. Players get shut down and lowers. ADM taps slowy in mid, and they kind of just spiral out of control from there. Now it's going to be an eco round in response, so a perfect opportunity for Goliath to level up the scoreline. One thing I will say, Nick, I think it's really important that Goliath Gaming gets some work done on this T side, because we know ATK on the T side of Mirage are just such beasts.
Yeah, definitely. And Blaze is going to try to be a beast towards the B bomb site. He's going to get 1 and trade it out eventually, but still man advantage going to go the way
of
ATK, and just like that, it's a 2v2. There's a fast flank in apps, however, so keep an eye on Slowy. However, Dweezil has got his wits about him, and just like that, Mango left in a 1v2. Deagle in hand, smoke and armor, so if he can get the jump on one of these players, he can possibly try to trigger discipline his way into the 1v2, but it seems like Dweezil, does he have an idea?
He's checked it, Mango steps out, and Dweezil will put him in the grave. I mean, not a bad round from ATK, all things considered. That's why I was going off on a bit of a tangent, because I just saw it was the eco, and I thought that Goliath Gaming would be able to clean up, but ATK still find 3 frags, which is not a bad result, all things considered. Rather, Goliath Gaming find 3 frags. Wait, no, ATK found 3 frags. That's
yes,
okay, I had it right. I'm good, I'm on the money. I was right, I gotta back myself. And now they're buying up. Slowy has his AWP as well. And whoever wins this is going to be getting themselves a nice little uphold in the economic battle. Looking to try and rush out of the T-Ramp smoke. Mango finds 2. Adara will trade him out. And it doesn't look like Goliath Gaming are going to be slowing down, or are they? Maybe they do just want to bide their time here. Adara's been able to get under Palace, and they've also got a player in lowers. So maybe they just want to try and give him time to try and work something into the round.
Adara has found himself, he's in a really advanced position, which ATK seem to have no idea that he could be here. However, they're just going to cut noise and see, hopefully they can catch a rotate coming into the site. Obviously, it's going to come down to Slowy. Does he have his wits about him? Can he hit the shot towards lowers? Or under bulk, rather. If he overextends, then Adara will have the site. But he's still towards triple. This is a cat and mouse game. He's overextended now. That's a free frag. And now, that's when Goliath starts to press the A site. But actually, they're going to cut noise even more. You just got to go now. Like, you know, ATK know that you have A. So, going to wait it out. ADM's going to smoke top con. And Mestam's actually choosing to go ramps. This is now interesting.
Yeah, that flank certainly might be having a big impact a little bit later here on in the round as Goliath Gaming look to try and take control of the site, but they've taken quite a while, and Fady's gotten in position. Bomb plant will be coming through here at least, so it's going to be a 2 versus 3 post plant, but now it's all about the flank, right? Mistum coming with the backstab, not even being accounted for here. Spotted Dweezil going into Sandwich as well, so he definitely knows where one of the 2 players are, and ADM's given up his location as well. Dweezil finds a pick before he goes down, leaving ADM in actually a potential winnable situation. The bomb's planted for him, and that smoke's not actually on the bomb. Deep smoke in towards Connector will be blocking it off, but he takes down Blaze before it blooms, and now it's Mistum left. ADM trying to spray him down through the smoke, desperately tapping away. Mistum's not actually sticking the defuse right now. ADM with balls of steel is now going to be flying through with the Glock. He's just trying to buy time here up against Mistum, tapping away, hits the headshot, finds the frag, and secures the round for his team.
Oh my goodness. ADM with the 1v2 to finish things off. But what Goliath did really well there is they planted for Connector instead of planting like inverse or default. They were able to get the post plants, and after ADM cleared out that position on the map, you saw Dweezil had an idea, an inkling that there could be a flank. He actually flicked over towards Palace, and then obviously Mistum got the frag in the meantime, so they even had an idea. They even took into account that a possible flank could come in, and then Goliath, they were just ultimately able to win out the post plant. So ATK post the first 2, but Goliath respond with 3 of their own. Gonna try and make a cat split come out towards this B site. It's gonna be 2 players entertaining them though. Mistum on the Deagle has spotted out Dweezil with the bomb.
Slowy's also on the backstab here, coming through lowers, by the way. And Mistum's found Dweezil. He just needs to stay alive at this point. No need to take any further fights. They need to wait for Slowy to come through with this flank onto Massacre. Elusive finds a nice shot there onto Fady, and Massacre spotted out the flank as well. So this should be the beginning of the end here for Goliath Gaming. Or is Mistum and Mango still got some... Do Mistum and Mango have some shenanigans left in the store here? They're both on the B-bomb site, but the bomb's been carried across, so things are fine. Normality restored. Goliath Gaming don't struggle too much to get across the line here in this anti-eco. I mean, I've never really a fan of seeing teams just committing to an exec from spawn in their anti-eco rounds, and we nearly saw, you know, exactly why. Got a little bit chaotic there for a second.
Obviously, the worst thing you want to do is just walk into a site where there's like 5 deagles there, everyone's spamming, and then next thing you know, you lose a couple of rifles, your lurker can't get anything done. You're saying, guys, A's clear, and then you realize he's the only guy left in the round. But Adaro, he's going to take Mango, who was the last guy left in the round for ATK. Yeah. And a clean anti-eco coming out from Goliath, all things considered. They're going to start building up the bank. Now it's the second important gun round, but have a look at the utility from ATK. It's just not there. Slowy with nothing on the belt. Blaze with only a molly and a flash. Mistum with no molly. So this is an interesting one.
Slowy's also 2 for 4 at the moment, so he hasn't really come alive here yet on the server. And when you talk about CET side Mirage, it's synonymous with Slowy's AWPing. So we're going to be hoping that he starts to find his mojo. Fady sets himself up nice and early here with the dragon to ADM, who is by himself towards mid, and Slowy opens up his account in the round as well. So it's looking like it's easy pickings in the round here. Pretty disjointed from Goliath Gaming. Did Slowy just find his pick towards A ramp as well? Yeah, I mean, so I guess a little bit of lack of discipline here maybe. Massacre also being found at B. Maybe just trying to do too many things at a time here for Goliath Gaming. Peeking A ramp, ADM pushing catwalk at mid in the start. Massacre, maybe he has a response was trying to make something happen. But, you know, Goliath Gaming have been looking good when they've been using their numbers, Nick. And here I kind of just felt like they were spread too thin.
Yeah, it just seems like ATK found out that mid lurk. They got ADM early, and then it seemed like Adara was like, "Oh my goodness, we've lost like mid info. Let me try and make a play A." And then he got picked out. Then Masco was like, "Oh, we've just lost mid info and we've just lost the A play. Let me try and make a play B." And then everyone was dead. 5v2, things not going their way, and Fady is able to get a 3k in that round. So another gun round gonna go, or rather the first gun round gonna go the way of ATK. But slowly he's made the catch jump. He's gonna be one of the ideal factors in the win condition for ATK this round.
Yeah. The fact is, all 5 players stay alive in that previous round for ATK, which has given them a nice boost to their economy. Hasn't necessarily given them enough to full buy in the next round if they lose here, but it's just given them a little bit of extra something. And it looks like we're going to be seeing a late mid take here. Yeah, they got the 2 players posted top mid, but they haven't done too much with it as of yet. Not the world of the Utah left remaining, and Dweezil just finds the timing on the peak, but he can't connect on the shots, so Slowy actually able to get out alive there. Should have lost his life.
Yeah, Mango's got this super like advanced position in Palace, so when they go back towards this A site, if he peeks on a timing or if he doesn't peek at all, he's still going to get this info, and they're not even going to... If you're Goliath, you're going to account this, but it's going to be that sort of account where you're lazy peeking the angles, but Mango...
Yeah, exactly.
He could get a couple, he gets one, and you see the spacing's not good. You understand that it's a possibility, however, you understand it is, but then at the same time, you realize, he's not really in Palace, is he? But Mango, he's got a super advanced position, able to get to drop the bomb, which is important so the rotates can come in. And what he does really well is he just gives it up. And now Blaze... Ooh, he's tagged our Masker, but super well played from Mango there over towards the A site. And now, Goliath, they're clutching at straws to try to win this round.
Yeah, this round lives and dies with Master. He has to win this fight out against Blaze, and he's actually done that. The bomb carrier rotating very quickly across as well. Fady's been able to get himself onto Catwalk, so he'll still have to be dealt with before the plant can be secured, and he's just shift walked all the way into the corner. So this round is over. There's no way they win it. Fady's going to take down the bomb carrier, and even though Master finds Weasel, not going to be making any difference. Dara with some clean movements, actually able to get into the site, but as I said, just because of the lack of time, if there was an extra, like a second and a half there, that round gets very interesting very quickly, but it's not the case, and ATK win their second consecutive round here, and that was just unfortunate.
Yeah, Masker tried to do whatever he could. Yeah, definitely. He made the info play towards Palace, and everything just went his way. It does look like, I think it was Goliath, they tried to call it tactical, but they were a couple seconds too late. So that's why the buy has been a bit delayed, and things haven't just gone their way so far this round. But they're going to buy up. They've got 2 Deagles, 3 rifles, one of which is a Galil, so doesn't have that one-shot headshot potential. Besides, onto the head of Blaze. Mango playing close range. He's going to get 1. He's going to get 2 on the spray, and that's the second time he's found success towards that area. Slowy's posted this long line and apps, and he's going to take out Elusive. And this was a buy round, ladies and gentlemen, for Goliath.
Yeah.
This was a full investment, and ATK made it look easy.
Yeah, I mean, Goliath Gaming just probably being a bit audacious in that round there. The double flash through the smoke from Massacre. Kind of feels like they're trying to pug their way through that situation, not really putting too much stock in teamwork or trying to play the length out of the round and you know, force rotations. Kind of brute force their way into the bomb site, and you know, when you fight fire with fire against this ATK team, they win more often than not. They kind of want you to come to their level so that you can brawl with them, because they've got the likes of Fady, Slowy. They want you to re-peak. They want to have as many engagements as they can. So I want to see Goliath Gaming going back to the smart Counter-Strike we saw out of them in the early stages of this half. That was a lot more convincing.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But looking at the scoreboard so far, like Mango 12-5, Fady 10-5. Blaze unfortunately hasn't got things going so far, but obviously how many times have Goliath gone B? I think it's once, and they didn't even plant the bomb, sort of a thing. So his site hasn't had much entertainment. Missed him as 4-4. On the Goliath point of view, Masker's 7-6, Adara is 6-5, and the rest of them unfortunately are negative. But it's early doors, and they've got 3 nades, 4 nades. They're airstrike. It's happening. Who's dying? Fady's dying. GG. No, they're not.
Oh no, it goes connect. Oh no. Why not into snipers? Massacre with the Desert Eagle at least finds 1, and Slowy could get overwhelmed here. Yeah, he does, but Mango's still in position to stop this from spiraling out of control. And Dweezil can have some smoothment here to get out, and he will be able to for the time being. Did you hear about that time when Dweezil had 4 health in the eco round?
I mean, I heard about it, but unfortunately you didn't get any kills.
No, you didn't hear about that round then, man. So Dweezil saved the AWP, okay, and he managed to get in the back line, finds the first frag, and there was so much time left on the clock, he rotated back into snipers, and it was just the play that blew ATK's minds. ATK then disbanded after they forfeit the game, and they all joined Bravado.
Oh, that time.
That's the play I'm talking about.
Okay, I see you. Completely different scenario, but Dweezil's just canned this round. He's just thrown the AWP over the wall to ensure that ATK can't save it. He's just gonna try die before time with the Glock.
I think he looked at the timer. He's like, "There's a minute and 5 seconds left in the round, and they know that I'm in CT. I'm just gonna get this over with. Let's just get this done and dusted." All right, 6-4. ATK starting to find a bit of momentum here as they build a platform for themselves on the CT side.
Another AWP picked up for Slowy, so even though Dweezil threw it over, it is still going to be a bit of an expensive investment. However, the important thing is that he's got it on his back.
Oh, Slowy, he just finds the shot through the smoke onto ADM. He goes back for more as well. Even though he's been tagged down, doesn't stop Slowy. If he's got 1 point of health, he's still alive, right?
Fadi's in, like, what is going on? Fadi's about to be in T-base, and he's about to catch a Doro with a knife out towards middle. He did spot one towards top mid, so he's going to get this kill. Dweezil, he spotted out towards top mid, however, he's got the bomb. Elusive is going to kill Mango in the meantime, and missed him. And Fadi's just lost the fight over towards Dweezil, so just as ATK looked like they were solid to win this round, now it's just a low HP of Slowy and Blaze over towards the B bomb site, and now it's Goliath to lose.
Oh, thankfully Goliath realized that the B bomb site wasn't the place for them to try and finish things. They do start shifting themselves across. Elusive looking to control the vent at the moment while the bomb plant comes through for Dweezil. Slowy though on the angle does find Elusive wanting, who does re-explore back into sniper, so we're on for the 2 versus 2 here, and Dweezil stuck in a bit of an awkward position right now. Massacre towards Connector needs to give him some breathing room, needs to help bail his teammate out, and it seems like Slowy will be walking with his back into Massacre. Comes around the corner, he can't see Dweezil. Massacre's been given his position away in Connector. Slowy jumping across now, won't be able to land the instant shot onto Dweezil, who finds the double kill to seal the round for the team. Goliath Gaming able to convert the 3 versus 5 into a round win. Great job.
Yeah, really well played coming out from Goliath, ultimately able to convert the 5th round. And Mistim has timed out, so that means the round's not live.
They did call for a tech actually before the round even ended from Goliath, so yeah, we're all good. It's definitely not live. Okay, so we got a bit of time to digest what's going on. Yeah, 6-5, Goliath Gaming, pretty comfortable as things stand right now. What I will say though is, and it's something I mentioned but we didn't really get to talk about. ATK are they probably prefer the T side of this map, quite frankly. So, having said that, Goliath would have had the choice of sides coming into. Oh, do they knife for sides? They don't knife for sides, right? You get to pick sides on your opponent's map. So
maybe Goliath prefer the T side as well.
Yeah, I think they do. But anyway, just an interesting little point. I think ATK prefer the T side as well. And what I'm getting at here is that 5-6 rounds on the T side for Goliath, probably isn't enough. In a traditional game of Mirage, you'll take it, but against ATK, you need to be winning the half at least, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rounds from last night, and ATK started T side. They finished the half 10-5, and then obviously as the half, you don't play the whole game T side, so they switched over to CT. 1 pistol round, converted. Goliath won the first gun round, and then made the comeback from 12-6 until they eventually lost 16-14. So ATK, they started T side, they got 10 rounds, and then Goliath, when they were 10-5 down, they almost got 11 to get to that 16th. They almost got there, but they were pretty close. After going 15-12 down, they made it back to 15-14, then unfortunately lost the 30th round. But it does seem like both these sides definitely prefer the T side. It's going to be interesting to see how this game turns out later on in the second half.
Yeah, it absolutely is going to be interesting. I mean, it's no surprise that the T side is such a strong asset here for ATK when you look at the individuals on their team, right? First of all, you have Fady. I mean, the guy will you give him an AK, you just say, Fady, go kill, and he'll create chances for you. Okay. Secondly, you've got Slowy as well, who we all know you give him the AWP and you put him in towards mid, he's going to be able to contest any AWPer in South Africa. And then you've also got Mango, who's a player that you can just rely on to also create room. So that's why this ATK team is so scary on the T side of Mirage, man.
Yeah, and I think if both these rosters, there's no weak link. You know, you can't go, oh, this guy's playing B, let's go abuse him. Because if you go B, you're walking into Blaze. If you go A, you're walking into Mango. Like lesser of two evils, I guess. Because I guess Mango is a bit less experienced than Blaze, but both of them are super solid. The same is said for Goliath, right? They've also got 5 super solid players. You can't just single out one player and be like, we're going to abuse him and try to do whatever we can to give him a hard time. Because if you try that, then you're just going to give them free kills. And we saw what happened. Mango playing close to the ramp smoke. He's had 2 or 3 rounds where he's got multi-frags towards that position. Obviously, Fady during the pistol. Blaze, his sight hasn't been entertained as much, but I assume for the CT side as well, when Goliath are that site, ATK aren't going to have the same sort of success. If they try to single out someone, it's just not going to work. And that's why we see these teams, they're not going to one site all the time. They're pushing and pulling the map, the mid control, working early picks, etc., etc. That's why you're seeing the slow default come out from Goliath, which they found a lot of success in. They throw the mid smokes, they get an early pick, maybe Slowy's a bit overextensive in middle, trying to get caught out, etc., etc. That's why Goliath are doing the slow, methodical approach so that they can get map control, get information, and ultimately regroup into the site, unless they get double fragged in the meantime, like Mango or Slowy or Mist. And there's so many things. There's so many winning conditions and losing conditions for both these teams.
But as you mentioned, Goliath have definitely looked the most convincing when they've been using those slow, methodical approaches on the T side here so far, where they are just taking map control and then working their way into an execute. You know, Elusive is a smart IGL. I think they should be giving themselves time. You know, you got people like ADM, who there's not many people in the country who put more time than ADM into the game. You've got these guys who read the game so well. You need to be using the full length of the round for their minds to be applying in the round and figuring out the situation, trying to predict how the CTs have moved themselves based off how the round's been playing out, so that you can shift yourselves into the execute where they're vulnerable. You know, always trying to think one step ahead type of thing. You can't do that when you're just rushing into a bomb site. So I agree. I like to see that Goliath Gaming have been, taking that methodical approach, and I think they need to keep up with it as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it lends to Elusive's IGLing style, as you alluded to. Extremely smart player, extremely smart person. And I think he's one of the players who's going to be like calculating the information that he's been presented in the round, and then he's going to make a considered decision afterwards. So, and Mistim's the same as well. Like, obviously, painting Elusive in a really good picture, his opposite number is going to be Mistim, and both of them go for these methodical approaches. It's not just let's smoke A off the rip and rush sort of a thing. Obviously, there's a time for that if you have a read, etc., etc. But it's not going to be every round. Let's 5B, let's 5A, let's 5 middle. It's not going to be like that from either of these two sides. There's 10 extremely talented players, 10 extremely smart players on the server. And it lends to how they play, slow, methodical, gathering information, etc., etc., etc. But we're live once more.
Yeah, back into the game. Let's get our ugly mugs off the screen. Let's get the beautiful Counter-Strike going here once again. 6-5, ATK are ahead here by a round, but Goliath Gaming won the previous, which means that it's not the best economy as it stands for the CT side. Goliath Gaming, Nick, if they win this round, 6-6. And they get the upper hand in the economic battle, and that's what they need, right? They need to get a platform going on the T side. This is where they need to get majority of the work done, because as we've already spoken about, the CT side is going to be tough for them. It's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And in this round so far, just a super slow 2-1-2 coming out from Goliath. Passive middle hold. Fady playing coach ramp. He's going to get cleared out by Dweezil. Now Goliath do get some information. That was an SMG that Fady had, so now they understand. Is it a force buy? What's the buy have they got? Now they've got the idea, but Slowy's got the frag onto Dweezil. Now he's got the AWP pick and he's out. He's shown the AWP presence. Okay, and he's got the AWP pick, he's run back and he's run back.
Just messing with you, bro.
I was just about to be like, oh, I love it when AWPers do this.
I love it when and then they don't know where they are. Blaze, he knows where he is. He's taking Elusive down, and he's got some support flashbang from the AWP himself, Mr. Slowy, who's pivoted across. Blaze is taking names on the defense. And it's only Adara left remaining here in the 1 versus 3. 148 kilogram Adara. That's the clan tag. Damn. He's beefed up since the last time I saw him, man. Let's see if he can beef up his frag count in the round. Nice movement from him. He actually got a shot off there, you know. If he connected onto Blaze, that could have got nutty. But Blaze is the one who actually finds the quad kill in the round.
Yeah, super solid hold there on the B side for Blaze. I was saying, you can't just pick out one of these players. There's no weak link from any of them. And Blaze is one of the super solid players. Yes, you may say he doesn't put up the numbers every game, but if you ask any of the ATK players, Blaze is the selfless one. He's the player who runs in first, and he's the player who's guaranteed to when the other team goes to his side. So, super consistent performance, but it's just going to be a 5-man B rush. coming out from Goliath. They're rushing the site. Mistim and Blaze are trying to do whatever nade damage they can, but the Glocks at close range are going to be potent, slowly jumping out the window. Dara's got an off. And what's going on over here?
I mean, it's just absolute chaos on the B-bomb side. Somehow, all 4 of the players from ATK that were left alive actually managed to stay alive for as long as they did. I thought that was chaotic, and unfortunately for Goliath Gaming, they don't get anything much done in that round. Or too much done, rather. They only find the 1 kill. Gun round again here, but it's 8-5, and it's ATK who are once again starting to pull ahead, Nick. Double AWP continues to be carried on into this round as well. Blaze loves himself an AWP towards that B-bomb side. Elusive looks to want to turn up the pace here. Been able to get ahead of that smokes to spot the playouts and snipers, but he's not going to be slowing down. It's missed him on the angle. He'll be finding the frag for free. Slowly also caught an angle onto Elusive, so it's 2 frags that have gone untraded for the time being here. And now Adara, ADM, and Dweezil have to try and conjure a way back up into this round. Adara does open up to Mistim. That's going to be giving a bit of room for him to work with now.
Blaze.
But Blaze is in position.
He's got an orb. He's got the CZ. They don't have no idea he's here. 0 2.
Yeah.
CZ!
Find a frag for free. Pulls out the AWP and takes on Dweezy as well. Yeah, ATK are stomping at this point. This is something ATK does, right? Where they start to make the game look easy. They really make the game look easy, and that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, and that was another full investment coming out from Goliath. The second last, the penultimate round of their T side, and it does look like they're going to try to do the same again as what they did the previous, throughout the same smokes, but maybe it's going to be a bit of a different play coming out from them. They find themselves 4 rounds down, and obviously we always speak about ATK's T side, extremely powerful. He's going to be a B fake, however, but Fady and Mango, they're going to stand strong on this A site. B fake is not going to work. There's 3 players left alive. Massacre, Dweezil, and Elusive. Massacre has found himself onto the bomb site. However, Mistim has put him in the grave, and he's done the same to Dweezil. Elusive now in the 1v5, and oh, how he would want to win this.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't remember the time Elusive on the 1v5 when he was in a Mac 10 in middle. I don't remember that time.
No, me neither. Nick, I don't remember either.
Because it didn't happen. There we go.
Oh god, I mean, it's a cool one. It's a cool meme. It's got its place.
I respect it. Your machine's talented, I must say.
Yeah, I know. He's got away with words. That's why he does what he does.
I mean, that's why he gets paid. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah,
my guy. Yeah, fat checks is what these teams are going to be raking in if they're able to win this event. We're going to be seeing who kicks off on the pistol round here. Mistim with a wealth of utility, as well as Mango, 2 smokes, 4 flashes. And it looks like Goliath Gaming want to try and get a little bit aggressive here towards the middle. 3 players set up, and they're going to be playing for the retake on the A site. Elusive is looking over the stairs, but he'll be smoked off, and it's just a basic setup here for ATK. Smoking towards stairs and jungle, and it's actually going to be a flash through the smoke. Blaze flying forward, takes an ADM. It's an alteration. I thought they're going to flash into CT. Oh no. ATK have got their own bit of South African spice here on this one, or maybe some Israeli spice if it came from the coach. A quick flurry of frags does come through for Goliath Gaming, but ATK just able to maintain the advantage, and Fady finishes it off with the double. He just always seems to have an impact in the pistol round, Nick.
Oh, like he always just something with the USP, dude. Like he picks up the USP and just shoots 1 bullet and gets the kill.
It's like robot aim though, man.
Dude, I swear, like super
he
solid.
He moves on rails, dude. It's just like it's just like this XY axis that Fady moves on. Oh.
It looks like he plays super low sense. Like I don't actually know his sense, but it looks like he plays super low sense. Like the panning and the tracking is super slow and methodical. I mean, that's why it's the tap.
Are you calling him old? What?
Maybe.
Did you just say he moves slowly? Damn.
What, Reese or Thratus? Huh, what? Who said
I mean,
that?
I know he's going to be your opponent on the server in a couple of weeks' time, but you don't have to get the shots going this early. Nah, cap all day long. Stack on the B-bomb side here from Goliath Gaming in this full eco. Didn't even invest a single dollar into the round. And unfortunately for them, ATK went to the opposite side of the map. So it's going to be 12-5. And that means that we head into the gun round where it's going to be the be-all and end-all. And it's not even like Goliath Gaming are going to have all the bells and whistles in their gun round, Nick. Only going to be getting a mere $2,400 if they lose this round. So, yeah, it's going to be rough. I mean, ADM or Dweezil or Dara could all afford a glass cannon AWP, but that's going to be about as far as it goes.
Yeah, and they've just sent out these Mac 10s to try to get that extra money. Slowly and missed. Oh, okay, there we go. ADM last alive. Does he get taken down? No, he doesn't. Okay, so it's a bit of an extra cash injection. Slowy's up to $5,000. Missed him, obviously, when he got one Mac 10 kill in the previous round, but he's been dropped over Mango's Galil. So a full buy round with one Mac 10 to work around. And it's that Mac 10 against his head-armored opponent, Sadar and Elusive. They've cut a bit of a corner, possibly. Understanding that there's still a Mac 10 in play.
Yeah.
They could fall prey to it. Mistim's going to try a fast cat play. Maska seems to have zero clue that this is a possibility. That's because ADM's in lowers. He's taken down Fady, and he's got the second onto Slowy and dropped the bomb. And just like that, it's Blaze in a 1v5. You can't get anything done, and super convincing round.
Yeah, somebody call an ambulance, but not for me. That someone needs an ambulance. ATK just got absolutely bodied in that round. Great stuff out of Goliath Gaming, making moves, and they're going to keep all 5 players alive as well, which is going to bode super well for their economy. And in fact, ATK are going to have to eco. But now we need to see Goliath Gaming start to assert themselves on the server here, right? And show ATK, we're not going to be pushovers on the defense. You're going to have to pull out all the stops on your T side if you're going to be able to go toe-to-toe with us. I want to see Goliath not taking any early unnecessary fights. You know, that's what ATK wants on their T side. They want to look for early brawls. That's what Fady's going to be hunting for. You want to make sure that you deny them all those early opportunities, because then that's when the big brain of Mistim starts working. Oh, we have an opening pick. Let's throw this util, manipulate the defense like this, and exec into one player on the bomb side. You don't want to give them the opportunity to be making those sorts of plays. So don't take those early fights. At least not the 50-50 ones.
Yeah, without a doubt, I agree with you tenfold. And Fady's definitely a player. If you give him a 1v1, it doesn't matter who he's up against, in South Africa especially. And if you're a betting man, you'd put your money on Fady. In all honesty, like super solid aimer. He's in Palace right now, 14 points well, so maybe he's not going to be confident enough. ADM, he's feeling it. Elusive actually going to snatch out that last one, so...
Okay.
Goliath post their 7th, and ATK, they bought up some deagles, they dropped some over, and that's why they can't get a full buy in this one. That's why they're just choosing to purchase up some utility around some pistols. Possibly a double pump or an A exec could come out from them. They've got 5 pistols on the board. Slowy's unfortunately only got a P250. He's saving a bit of extra money for the AWP, and 3 Tech 9s. And those up close and personal can definitely do some damage.
Yeah, they're going to be coming through here. I think it's going to be the basic set of smokes as well. CT stairs and jungle. Flash over the top. And they're just going to try and rush their way into the safe side. Goliath Gaming, they've got players on the side. They're not playing for the retake. They're going to try and keep control. Adaro, Vlad wants to swing out here. Probably ill-advised. Just wait for your teammates, lad. You've got the weapons. You don't need to actively defend the site before the planters come through. And now it's a one-man advantage for the T side. ATK, oh my god, Nick, you see, this is criminal right now. This is absolutely criminal what we just witnessed. ADM is the only player left alive here. 1 versus 3, he steps out, has to take Blaze immediately, can't afford to take any discipline, or trigger discipline rather. And he seems to have the inclination that Mistim is in sand, which is going to be dropping a smoke on the bomb. That's just going to give Slowy some cover to work with. Slowy, he is starting to edge out of triple, holding an angle. ADM just edges his way forward, but he doesn't check the distance. That's going to be the end of the round. And Nick, you're not going to beat ATK if you're not able to win those rounds.
Yeah, I mean, we always speak about in the cast, which is a thing you brought up not too long ago, is earning your eco rounds. And
yeah,
Goliath, they did so well to earn those 2 eco rounds. They did really good work in the one. And then this round, just a couple pieces of utility, and next thing you know, the A-bomb site's vacant, and things just not going Goliath's way, and that just a bit of a mispositioning, I guess. He's playing triple, he's not getting any supporting flashes, he's not taking a favorable fight towards ramp. He can get double peeked the angle he was holding, so he falls. Then Odaro feels like he's inclined to make a play towards the bench, and then he falls. Next thing you know, ATK win the round, but it's just going to be standard A smokes again. They're going to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It worked on the pistols, let's see if it works on the rifles, but Elusive is going to catch Mango.
Yeah, the pick that they needed to just stunt this attack ever so slightly. At least now there's a one-man advantage for Goliath.
Why have you done that now?
I know. I was going to say you've got the one-man advantage for the retake, but Adaro's just tried to get himself in the thick of things. He's tried to force it a little bit too much there, and that's given this round back into ATK's favor essentially. 4 versus 4, always going to be favoring the T side. The problem is, Nick, there's no more smokes here for ATK, so getting onto the A site is actually a very tough job for them right now. So that's not entirely... that's why they've actually sent these 2 players back towards middle, because they need to try and give them an opportunity to get onto the sites. They have to take jungle and connector control, right? And that's what Slowy and Fady are going to be trying to do. Massacre with 2 different angles to try and clear right now. It's going to be all about the timing, and he does have the angle of Slowy, but he doesn't anticipate Fady to be right behind him, so he does get taken down. And now this has given a bit more room for ATK to breathe in this round, but ADM finds the timing on the push to take down the first. Fady trying to trade him out, and he will do exactly that. Elusive has also been found out. That was the big kill that separates the 2 teams. It's just Weasel left now with the AWP, and I don't even know if this is very realistic right now. And he's given his position as well, his way. Fady plays the scope, and he puts a bullet in his brain.
If you have to look at what went wrong in that round, like if you're a Doro, like I'd want to try find a reasoning for that play, but there just is no reasoning, right? You've got the opening kill, sit back, play retake. You haven't expended so much utility. You can still play retake on the site. He's trying to push the issue too much, and essentially, like, I don't like singling out a play and saying that's the reason why they lost the round, but in that situation, that was the reason why they lost the round. And ATK, I mean, they munch up that opportunity.
You could never ever single out one player or one play for the loss of a map. But I think sometimes individual mistakes are what can be the onset of losing a round. And it's important to differentiate between the two. And it's not the end of the world. You are going to make mistakes that cost the team the round. And what really matters is that you learn from those mistakes. That's essentially what matters the most, is that when you're in the same position in the future, you'll have the temperament to actually hold that discipline and not make the same mistake. That's really what matters the most.
Yeah, without a doubt. Last night, this map went 16-14, and the question is, can Goliath...
It was the night before, by the way.
That's true. I carried on saying last night, last night everything's happening. Wednesday night, it all meshes into one nowadays, you know?
Tonight is Friday, actually.
No hours of sleep, everything is just like not working right up there. Yeah, exactly. Everyone should be jolling, but watching Counter-Strike, so...
That is a jolt.
Exactly. It's better, actually, in all honesty.
It's a true W.
This is why I have no friends. What? Who said that?
Oh, what do you mean? We've got the most friends. We've got the entire community, bro. This is the biggest friend circle out there. The biggest myth about gaming is that it's antisocial. Biggest myth about gaming. Big round, yeah. 15-7.
Never speak to anyone.
Come join us for dinner. We've all heard that one. Goliath Gaming, Goliath Gaming have been in this position before as well, Nick, where they're on the receiving end on a map point against ATK. And this time, unfortunately, it hasn't been very pretty. ATK have just waltzed to victory here on Mirage, making things look very, very easy. And yeah, this has been fairly one-sided, to say the least. Goliath Gaming have had their moments. Maybe the 15-7 scoreline's not a very true representation of how close this game has been, but it's definitely been ATK who have been the more convincing of the 2 teams, and it is going to be finished off in style. So 16-7, ATK secure the first map in the winner bracket final. Nick, before I give you a chance to quickly break things down, let's open up the giveaway for the 250 Rand Steam voucher, courtesy of Evesports. So yeah, that's going to be opened up right now, guys. The keyword for that is Yorba, only available to South African residents as well. You can grab yourself a 250 Rand Steam voucher. Nick, any words on Mirage before we take a short break?
I think super interesting. Wednesday night, I almost said it again, Wednesday nights win all 30 rounds. This time 16-7, and now it's going to be Dust 2 next, and we didn't see that on Wednesday night. We didn't see what Goliath they've got in the pocket for Dust 2. It was Inferno that allowed ATK to win it out, and Dust 2 is what Goliath needs to take it to 3 to win the series.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any time will tell.
Yeah, okay. So let's take a short break, guys. Remember, the giveaway is open at the moment. We'll be announcing the winner somewhere throughout the second map. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with Dust 2. As you said, Nick, do Goliath still have some fight left in them? Will this be the day they see the light? Or are ATK going to be keeping them locked in the basement? We'll have to find out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back here to the winner bracket final of EGL 1 Season 2 ATK versus Goliath Gaming. The ultimate battle of South African Counter-Strike in the past year is what we've got on the cards right now. We just came off the back of Mirage, where ATK gave Goliath Gaming a bit of a lesson. They won that 16-7, which means they're ahead 1-0 here in the series as we shift across into Dust 2. Goliath Gaming's map pick as well, Nick. So if it was ever going to happen, it has to be right here on the second map.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Goliath and you're speaking to everyone now, no one likes a 2-0, right? Everyone likes a bit of a reverse sweep. So Goliath, I think they're just going to take this as a best of one. Dust 2 is their map pick. Hopefully they've got a couple tricks up the sleeve that they can catch ATK off guard by. I know ATK have a super solid Dust themselves. So this is going to be interesting. Do Goliath have what it takes to take it to 3 maps? Or is it going to be another, and I hate to say it, but is it going to be another ATK 2-0? Not because I dislike ATK, but just because it's the same story every time, just because they're so good. But is it going to be another ATK 2-0? After Mirage's performance, looks highly likely, but as I said, it's Dust 2 and it's Goliath's map pick.
Nick, before we break the game down any further, let's actually bring up another interesting tidbit of information. And for anybody who's maybe not on the inner circle, they won't know about this. And it's that ATK are going to be going to Serbia to form part of a boot camp there in about a month's time. So they'll be in Serbia for about 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. And then from there, they intend to go across to Texas, or at least somewhere in the States. So this ATK team are on the verge of going overseas, right? And I'm really happy for them because it kind of feels like they might be, I don't want to say if getting stagnant is the right term, but the thing is as long as you're at the top and you're not always being tested and pushed and sometimes beaten to learn from your mistakes and continue to be able to develop and grow, you eventually reach a point where there's not much more that you can do. You can only scrim against the same groups and reach the same level and play against the same level. You're never really getting pushed much further. So I'm really glad that now finally they will be able to branch into that next stage of their careers here and as an organization and as the CS team.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I speak to Gareth relatively often, and he says, like, the team, as cocky as it sounds, is when they win everything, like, you start to lose motivation. Like, you've done everything. Like, everything's done. You've got the t-shirt. You've won the biggest tournaments of the year. You've won everything. You're winning. And then what's next, sort of thing. So I'm extremely excited for their venture. When they're in Texas, you best believe I'm waking up at the early hours of the morning, or rather staying up until that time to watch their games, their officials, because it's always nice to see players that you've conversed with, players you're fans of yourself, to see them performing the server. But I mean, the job's not done yet tonight. It's going to be maybe Goliath bring it back. I mean, maybe they can get what it's done. Unfortunately, none of them went positive on Mirage, so it wasn't just like one person's fault. It was the whole team not performing. But maybe Dust 2 will be a bit different.
Yeah, we're going to be finding out soon enough as well. We'll be getting into the game. Extra Salt versus ATK. Who wins? Fused SF. I think that's probably a fairly easy decision from my side, at least. Obviously ATK, no cap. I'm talking. I think Extra Salt.
Noob, right?
Yeah. I haven't heard of him before he joined this team. So yeah, no, I think Extra Salt would win that quite comfortably, actually. But anyway.
I just want to jump something quickly. Like you were saying, moving over to Europe, you scrim against different people, you're exposed to different playstyles. In South Africa, if you're ATK, you can only get like a valuable scrim out of how many teams? 5 and 6 teams maybe that can shoot back effectively. No disrespect to the other teams, but that's effectively how it feels. So when they move overseas, exposed to different Counter-Strike, exposed to different styles, different players, better players, and that's when they can grow and improve.
Yeah, that's it, Nick. Into the pistol round we go here on Dust number 2. Map number 2 as well. And it's going to be the CT side for ATK, the T side for Goliath Gaming. Once again, of course, ATK had the choice of sides, and they chose the CT side, and they're going to be scrutinized towards the middle here. Looks like Goliath Gaming want to try and split towards the B-bomb side, but missed him, spots on ADM just before the smoke blooms. He's boosted up his teammates as well, but he won't be able to find anything for the time being. It's missed him, or rather Fady on the B-bomb side, who's going to be able to find one before he goes down, and it means it's a one-man advantage here. Elusive coming through in the backline, tries to find the backstab, but all he does is end up burning down to Blaze's USP. And now it's a 3 versus 2, and the bomb plant hasn't actually been found. It's going to be coming through momentarily. There we go. Massacre puts it down, and now we're going to be seeing the retake coming through. as the players just look to charge their way forward. Mango leading that charge will go down. Massacre tapping away. He's been able to find 2. He converts the 1v3 into a 1v1, but he's just so damn low on the angle. Mistum trying to force him off, and he will be able to bait him into the side that he was swinging out into. Nice little movement there from Mistum. The jiggle left to force him right, and he was right there ready and waiting. Pistol round goes the way of ATK.
Yeah, a great start from ATK coming out from things. Only one player staying up, obviously missed him. So if you're Goliath, you've got to assess your options. Are you going to buy back, considering only one player stayed alive, considering there's no armor that ATK have to work with? Obviously, they know missed him at a kit. He didn't have armor. You can tell by how the blood splatters, by the headshot sounds.
Ooh.
Obviously, missed him didn't fall to a headshot that round, but that's why, in my opinion, they're forcing up here, right? They know ATK, they haven't got much to work with. If they buy utility, they're going to have SMGs. If they have rifles, they don't have utility. So that's why the Goliath are going for some sort of option. I would like to see possibly a Tech 9 and full util, or maybe like a Mac 10 full util. Dweezil's gone for the UMP, but you're not going to be afforded the same luxury. I want to see one player buying a plethora of utility, a couple flash bank,
there we go.
Molly. That would be a bit better. So they've got pretty much all their bases covered. It's a pretty even round. This could go other teams' way.
Yeah, no, but Nick, you're spot on. This is something we chatted about last night as well, as these buys in the second round on the T side when you lose the pistol, just going straight back into it, picking up some rifles, dropping across the AK. Massacre's got that as well. We all know what he can do with that gun. The fight comes through towards long, but it's a rain of a blue sea here as ATK just find the frags necessary to stop Goliath Gaming in their tracks. Elusive and Massacre, the only 2 players left, and Fady still on the angle, will add another one to his tally. Massacre eventually able to chase him down, but not without taking some damage in the process, and now it's just a 1 versus 2. Massacre's 5-1 at the moment, by the way, so I mean he's been finding frags here in the very early stages of Dust 2, but he's going to have to find 2 more if Goliath Gaming are going to be winning this round. A lot of time for the young man to work with. Retrieves the bomb and has some decisions to make now. He's got a smoke to work with as well. Wouldn't mind seeing him smoke deep CT and then look to get across onto the A site. Obviously, if he decides to throw the normal standard long cross onto the A site, the standard smoke, there will be a gap there. And he doesn't really have the health to work with, so he can't afford to get chipped on the cross. And he's waiting patiently right now to hope that the flank does come through, but Slowy is, he's got his discipline in control right now, so he's not making any unnecessary plays. They know that they have Massacre boxed in, and Mistum's just jiggle peeking on the angle. So they're just playing for information right now and setting themselves up, not giving anything away to Massacre, who's trying to clear out the angles, does spot the head there of Mistum, and he's going to actually use that opportunity to get himself across, and does get across unscathed. Drops the smoke to secure the plant, and he's actually turned this into a winnable position, you know. Swinging out of the smoke, takes the fight with Slowy, but he'll end up going down. So it is ATK who get across the line.
Yeah, super good diligence coming out from ATK in that 2v1, right? They have him boxed in, as you said. They've got the cross on either side. If Massacre chooses to go out towards long, he'll be able to... Slowy will have his number, right? It's a super favorable fight for him, everything going the way, and missed him just jiggle spotting CT. He'll be able to get the cross to side. So super well played for ATK. They're not going to push the issue because they know they don't have to. They ultimately retake the site and ultimately get the second round of the board. They double their points tally, and Goliath, they didn't chip down them to no players staying alive, to etc etc. They weren't able to break the economy in that round. So that's why they're just going to buy up a couple pieces of utility. Take this next round, just try to do damage in it.
Yeah, good effort. A lot of economic damage done. I mean, if they can just find a few more frags in this round, it's definitely going to be keeping some economic pressure here on the CTs, and they're going to burst into this B bomb side. Flashes and smokes over the top. Fady able to avoid them for the time being. Nearly gets caught off guard by the timing. Adara's been able to get ahead of the game there, and he does find a kill. Fady finds a second, but it's still going to be a 3 versus 3 as Goliath secure control of the site. There's a quick response, however, from Slowy and Mango. They've gotten themselves into position, but they put the brakes on as they reach the fringes of the bomb site. There's an AK here for Adara and M4 as Massacre as well, so this all of a sudden pretty much turned into a gun round for Goliath Gaming, all things considered.
Yeah, and Elusive was holding the back, so they know that no one can be coming from the tunnels. However, that could be worst case scenario because there's only 2 players on the site, and obviously if you're ATK, you can flash and take these fights, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Slowy's going to come out the door, he's going to get taken out. Mango and Blaze get 1 each, and now as I said, it's going to be pretty bad now, right? Elusive, last player alive, he's going to try and molly the bomb, but it doesn't seem to be calm just to where the bomb's planted. Oh, it was planted backside, never mind. So he didn't molly the right position, but the smoke had been dropped. But if you're Goliath, you're happy with that. When you're going into Niix round, you have to have a goal. What's the goal? Are you gonna impair the CT's economy, or are you gonna look to strengthen your own? In that round, they did both. They got the bomb plant, they got 3 people down in the meantime, and now their buy is looking really good, and they could break ATK in a heartbeat.
Yeah, spot on, Nick. I completely agree with you. That didn't exactly go out as they would have wanted to there for ATK, and then finding those frags and making the retake happen. And unfortunately for Elusive, there was just too much work left for him to get done. Big gun round here, 3-0. Goliath Gaming yet to get on the board here on their map pick, but Slowy does get found out. He didn't have the AWP to work with. Fady does, however. But that's going to be giving some room for Goliath to work with you. And it's really nice when you find that pick as early as they did here on the T side, because now Elusive can start to make some calls, right? Can start to shift his pieces across the board and look to manipulate the defense. And when you've got players like Massacre who create space like that, that is a handy thing to have, man. Big player.
Yeah. I'm a big fan what ATK have done here. They understand if they play 2-1, they've played 1-1-1, they won't be able to win this round, so they've stacked 3 players over towards the A side. Fady is over towards Elevator. He's dropped the bomb, has dropped into CT. No, it has a slot short, but he's got 2 with the AWP. Dweezil's around the other corner, and he's eventually going to have Fady's number, but I don't think they have any clue that Mr. is right below, so that could be someone lurking in the corners. He's spotted out. Dweezil think down low.
Oh, okay, Mr. able to back himself up to finally get the angle to find the frag. ADM will take down Mr. But Mango in turn able to trade out 1 versus 1. It seems like Mango has an idea of Adaro's position. He does get brought down to 73. Mollying Adaro off, he forces him to take the fight and he just holds down the angle. So unfortunately, Goliath Gaming won't be getting on the board through the way of that gun round. The round was looking so convincing, Nick. It was a 5 versus 3, and as you say, it was a perfect call from ATK. They know that they're not going to win this by just splitting themselves across the map. So just take the gamble, stack on A. If they go B, you probably just save. If they come A, you can try and make the defense happen, and it works out perfectly for ATK. They win the 3 versus 5.
Oh, Faye didn't have head armor. They did win the 3 versus 5 in the previous, but they already found themselves a man down this round. Slowy's trying things back, but Weasel's got the trade. He's got 2 in this round. Just like that, shoot another man disadvantage, but Blaze has pushed the issue over towards Long. He's got Massacre. Mango's going to be trying to push the smoke, and he's caught Weasel. Just like that. ATK, they were man down not so long ago. Now they're man advantage. Missed him on the B bomb sites. He's going to have to hold strong to ensure that they have a say in this round, but he's actually going to get taken down, and Elusive now on the 1v2. He smoked off the doors. He's got the bomb. He can get it down. No flash, however, from the side of ATK. They're just going to make sure the trading's good. Do you go door? Do you go window? Usually the rule of thumb is double window. You always win the round. Double door, you may not have the best time.
Oh, Nick, the rhyme was on. Elusive going to hope to get the clutch on here as well in the 1 versus 2. Sitting behind the box right now, tries to take the first fight. He spotted Blaze out as well. He's just going to swing out. Oh my god, Elusive with massive balls there to just try and take the fight with Blaze as well, but doesn't end up working out. And by the way, I say the rhyme was on. I didn't have a rhyme for it. It just felt like you had a really cool line there. And you know, you said 2 through the window, and it's wait, say it again.
Do you always win if you go 2 window instead of 2 door?
I don't know something that's like you had a rhyme going with the window one and then the door one. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, man. Didn't mean to throw you under the bus there. I just thought that was like a nice little line you had going there. Anyway, 5-0 and ATK, they march on here on the CT side.
But actually, Goliath, they're already 3 men up short, and I don't know if ATK have any idea of this. They try to make an aggro play towards B, 3 players on the B bomb side early, so now they spread their resources a bit thin, all things considered. 2 people are lent over towards the A site, but they've stopped Goliath in their track, so the round's going to play out as usual. But the util from ATK is not looking really good. They've got a smoke on Blaze and 2 flashes, but ADM, he's wilding towards middle, and Mango, he's going to chow up that 1v1 every day of the week, and now Dara's going to try push issues to try to get things back into Goliath's favor.
Yeah.
Actually going to think better of it.
Yeah, good decision as well, because if he ends up losing his life there, it's a 5v3, and it's not really worth it even if he just finds 1 pick on the B side. Elusive, however, has been able to find not 1 but 2 frags, rolling back the years, rolls through with the punches, and that's going to be doing some damage and opening up some room for Goliath Gaming to work with. However, Fady, when he's alive and kicking, oh my god, he has a punch behind him. And he packs a certain blow that not many teams can sustain. Adaro, left by himself here in the 1 versus 3. Knows where 2 of the players are, but just not much room for him to work with. And he's going to get shut down by Mango as well. Between Mango and Fady, they find all 5 frags in the round. And ATK are looking relentless here on the CT side. And this is just them defending right now, Nick.
ATK are looking super solid, and yes, they are just defending, and that's a scary thing. The fact that if you're Goliath and you haven't quite cracked the nuts of the ATK defense, and we always speak about how solid, how good their T sides are, maybe Goliath have bitten a bit more than they can chew over towards Dust 2. There's just going to be an eco, so hopefully they can get some damage for their sake. And because ATK's money, it's been on the brink for a while. Goliath have done a good job.
Yeah,
of
true.
Only 2 people staying alive, 1 person staying alive. So Goliath, they just need that 1 round just to break the economy. If they get that 1 round, different story. The map could have a bit of a different complexion. But CS is the game we know and love. It's all a game about ifs and buts, right? And the big buts is that Goliath, they just haven't cracked the code yet.
You're spot on though. Nick, Goliath have constantly been finding themselves in good positions. They just haven't been able to convert the round yet. And we often talk about whether scores are a true representation of how the game has been so far. And 6-0 doesn't really do Goliath Gaming justice, unfortunately. They have played well so far here in the half, but it's just been the final stages that have been letting them down. ADM with a fantastic shot there will take Slowy out of the round, looking for another one to Blaze. Blaze probably saw ADM in the kill feed and he's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be contesting that deagle. Back towards long he goes, so there should be a bomb plant here at the bare minimum for the T side. But ADM's going to be wanting a lot more than that, and he kind of overexposes himself there, loses his life, and that should be the beginning of the end, unless Massacre and the lads can make some magic happen. Adara with the deagle, okay, also goes for an audacious peek, he loses his life. And indeed, it is going to be the end of the round. ATK go up 7-0, but again, Nick, they do lose 3 players in the round, so their economy is not going to be getting a reprieve.
I guess what ADM tried to do there is just catch a CT off guard on the rotate there, but the bomb wasn't planted, so of course you're going to be wary of that sort of a play. You're not going to be setting up for the retake just yet. But if he gets a kill there and he gets traded, possibly a different story. Then the player falls over towards long. Then it's a bit of a different story from ATK's point of view. But ultimately, a successful round, all things considered, from Goliath. You did the damage, as you said.
Yeah.
And you got the bomb plants. And again, look at ATK's economy. It's not good. 1 round in Goliath, you've broken them. So every round is going to be extremely important. But it's just you just got to win the round. That's a big winning condition. It's just you got to win.
Just do it. Just why,
dude? It's not hard. Like, dude,
pull out the ninja tweet, copy pasta. Why don't you just hit the shot, bro?
Yeah. Just shoot them before they
That's
shoot
your
you.
job, exactly. Like Weasel does the Slowy on the angle, Slowy with the crown, as Goals would say, the crouch peak, the crouch, not the crouching prawn peak or something like that. It's too good, man. Pity I can't remember it properly, but
what?
Yeah, Fady's in a great position. Yeah, made his way all the way through the tunnels. He's set up nicely. Not worried about his lows just yet. He's committed to this angle. And he's going to have a couple visitors on his doorstep momentarily. Yeah. Oh, he gets 3. He gets 3 and he needs to finally fade them out. 1. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he finds the 1 kill. Massacre trades immediately. Missed him, looking to try and pick up where his teammate left off, but he gets shut down as well. And maybe this is the round that Goliath Gaming needed. Finally, they have a secure advantage in the round, and if you're Mango and Blaze, you're saving no interest in trying to make the retake happen, or at least will be picked up. But Goliath Gaming have done it. They've finally broken ATK's economy, and they've gotten themselves on the board. And Nick, I wouldn't say that it's outside of the realm of possibility for Goliath Gaming to actually mount a really solid half here. They're still on for 5 or 6 rounds if they're able to pick themselves up from here.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Mango and Blaze have saved an AWP and a rifle, so Fady, he's got a bit of extra money, he can reinvest. Slow and missed him, I assume. First of all, the AWP's going to be dropped over, and maybe they purchase up a deagle or something like that. So definitely a palatable buy, if you will, from the side of the CTs, which is ATK. But next thing you know, you lose that round, then your eco. So Goliath 7-1. Let's say they win the next round 7-2. They get the eco 7-3. Then you win another gun round 7-4. The buy round, the loss bonus is at max. Then you can win the next one 7-5 gun round. Next thing you know, 7-5 is a lot better reading than 7-0.
Yeah.
So Goliath, maybe they're back into it. Oh, Fady's brought up glass cannon. This is not what I thought was going to happen. I thought he was going to buy a rifle, but glass cannon.
I guess he's got the long spawn. No, he's actually taking towards middle. And he wants to get aggressive there as well, holding the angle. He finds ADM. So I guess there was some method behind the madness here for him. The lad who's just been so effective with the M4 is going to be opting for the AWP in this round, and he's not done either. Continues to look to have an impact. And Nick, this is what you're talking about earlier, Mirage, which didn't happen when Slowy sort of baited you there. You know, you have, and Fady's doing it to me now as well. But you have the impact with the AWP. You show the presence, and then you immediately shift away, so that the opposition don't have any clues to where you are. And it's a one-man advantage through the way of the AWPs. Both Slowy and Fady finding some picks in the round here for ATK. What do Goliath Gaming do in response? It's going to be Massacre. He's actually got some quick moves, dropping down into CT. He does catch Slurry off guard, and this sort of splits the map in half. Massacre picking up the AWP, looks towards long to have an impact, and we will be seeing the splits in towards the B side. This is a great decision coming out of Goliath Gaming right now. They've made the right read, but does that frag from Massacre convince them to change their minds? No. Still, they're going to be working in towards this B-bomb side. Fady with the AWP is going to be under scrutiny right now. What does he have is the question. Can he get something done to leave Mango in at least a 1 versus 1? No. Adaro finds the kill. Mango, though, hits a shot through the door. Great work from him. This is actually a winnable clutch all of a sudden. Doesn't have a kit, but he's got some util. And he's got his running shoes on as well. All the way into the tunnels he goes, and he's gotten here pretty quickly. Where's Elusive watching right now? He's in the window, so he's getting information. He's spotting out here, and he noticed there is no Mango. So that must mean he's shifted himself across. Mango, shift walking into this B-bomb site, is looking for Elusive. He might spot him towards the door, but he can't hit the instant shot. He misses his shot. Elusive doesn't. And that's Goliath Gaming with the second and breaking the back of ATK's economy.
Yeah, Mango tunnels. Mango loses the round. And Lushko.
Yeah.
But the double up almost worked. Oh, exactly. It's write it down. I've coined it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, TM. You know when you retire, though, you lose all your copyrights.
I mean, it happened, though. Can't win them all.
Yeah, that's sort of ATK's proverb right now in the round with the eco. Can't expect to win them all, and not only are they not going to win it, they're not going to find any frags either. All 5 players staying alive here for Goliath Gaming, and that's given them a nice boost to the economy here. 7-3. They're starting to fight their way back into this map, and as we were saying, it was definitely always on. They just had to find that first round.
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully if you're in the Goliath camp, it can start snowballing now, right? You've earned the eco, you've won it out really, really comfortably, you've built up the economy, now you're going to be pretty much set for the rest of the half. ADM hits the nice hop, and he actually goes back for more. He's been double naded. They're pushing him. Okay. They're pushing him. How's it, guys? My name's ADM, and I'm re-peeking, getting 3 long. Love that.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I know I've got my team behind me, so they'll trade it out. I'm just going to peek and peek and peek, and if something goes wrong, they've got the job done. But he finds all 3 kills, and it's just Mr. left remaining here in the eco round. So it's going to be 7-4, and I mean, Goliath Gaming, bar any chaos, will be keeping majority of their players alive again. So they're finding their momentum here on the T side of Dust 2.
Yeah, they definitely are. And it's going to be interesting, because ATK, they found a success with that double AWP, all things considered, on that like eco round where Fady purchased up that second AWP glass cannon. He did have a lot of success peeking towards middle, but now he won't be afforded the same luxury now that Goliath have got an AWP in their hands. So do they purchase up double AWP? Do they go for that same aggro B play they tried to do the previous round, but no one was home? Yeah. That's all the stuff that's going to be going through ATK's mind. As I said, they had a lot of success with the double AWP that round. If the other 2 players around them had rifles, obviously one of them had a saved rifle in the previous, so if they had rifles to work around that double AWP, maybe they're going to have a lot of success holding these long lines towards B tunnels, get that AWP back plats and play a lockdown and B, stuff like that. Maybe they'll have a lot of success with that, but only time will tell. They've got a full buy coming into this. Unfortunately for them, they won't be afforded the luxury of having a double AWP setup because the money's just not there. Unless Fady purchases it up again. There he does. So double AWP again. Yeah. Interesting.
Before this round kicks off, let me just remind everybody that we do have a giveaway open at the moment for a 250 Rand Steam voucher, only open to South African residents. The keyword for that is Yorba. Is Yorba. If you've entered already, don't enter again. We'll be rolling the winner of that in a couple rounds time, so make sure you get your entries in thick and fast. Slowy. Well, fast is the only way that he knows.
Oh, he missed.
He does. Mango completely blinded up. He doesn't miss. He's able to find 3 kills on the spray down. Shuts Goliath Gaming down in their tracks. Trades up for the AK. And he's been able to get himself into a 4th position here. Adam misses his shots, and Mango's going to be spraying him down as well. On an absolute tear in the round. Mango goes 16-7 in the first 12 rounds here on Dust 2. And it's ATK who are back to winning ways. Was he completely blinded up there? I wasn't even watching his POV. He was completely blind. Oh my god, he just holds down the line. I'm seeing it on my second screen now on the stream. Mango, that's crazy. That such a feels bad for Goliath, man.
Yeah, all I have to say is Mango goes bananas. That's all I have to say. But ATK went 4 long. They're choosing one-man approach. I had to drop it in eventually.
I'm done. I'm retired.
Does it? Please.
I'm becoming a coach.
Whoa, it's attacking someone.
All right, it's 8-4. Goliath Gaming dropping the ball in the previous round, but you can't really fault them for it sometimes. That's just getting Counter-Strike. And Dweezil's going to be opening up into Fady. Great shot there from him to take down the AWP. ATK, they do still have 3 players over here on the safe side first. They've got men in position to deal with the Zigzag to try and set up a defense, but ADM's taking down Slowy, so that's both of the AWPs that have been dropped now. So it's starting to stumble in this round for ATK. Bomb plant's going to be coming through for Mistum, and they're going to have to try and find a way to make this retake happen. Mistum going to be dropping another smoke. They're going to go for the boost up here. Mistum looking for some elevation. Will be spotting Massacre off. Takes his head off. That's going to be giving them a little bit more space to work with now on the retake. They need Blaze to come alive from Catwalk. He has to start having an impact as well. Mistum going to be throwing another flashbang to support him and try and give him the opportunity to peek. All in the meanwhile, they'll be swinging out of the smoke as well. They need a set of crossfire coming around the corner. Mistum does find one. Spraying down. He will find Dweezil as well. And Blaze is taking down a Daro. And ATK have done it. The 3 versus retake. The 3 versus 4 retake has been realized. And they bury Goliath Gaming in the round.
That was a 3v5, wasn't it?
Was it a 3 versus 5 retake?
Not
yeah.
a 3 versus 5 retake,
okay, no,
because I think they got a kill before the bomb was planted.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a 3 versus 5. If you're Goliath...
And they don't even lose... Oh, they don't use one more player. Yeah.
No, what happened there? Like, what... hello? I was about to say, this is Goliath's way to get back into the game. They get that round. ATK's eco, they have a really solid T side, rather, but next thing you know, it's ATK who don't rest on their laurels. They post the 9th, and now Goliath, they've got one more buy round, full gun round in them.
You gotta feel for Goliath though, man. Oh, there we go. Now they get the entries once
Another
again.
3 versus 5.
ADM and Massacre.
There we go. It's happening. It's happening.
Oh my god. Oh, Adaro. He was hoping that maybe the B player would have shifted his attention towards the middle after the frags were found. But his job is not done just yet. Here is the captain of ATK, and he's getting support from Slowy as well. Both of them are converging here towards middle. Dweezil's been spotted out by Mistum on the angle. He's going to be seeing Elusive as well, tapping away. Won't find the frag, but Slowy will. So it's into the 2 versus 2. I think Nick is broken. We need to restart my co-caster here, please, production. Josh, get on your job, bro. Slowy just going to charge forward off the back of the flashbang. AWP in hand without a fear in the world. He takes Dweezil down. Bomb plant has been denied. And now it's only Massacre left. And he has got so much work to do now as well. And Mistum and Slowy both going to be repositioning themselves towards long. I love this decision making so much. There's no way that Massacre anticipates these moves. This is a very, very nice Counter-Strike. It's happening, Nick. It's happening. I'm calling it right here, right now. Massacre might not even find the plants. He throws it back towards long. He spots the mouse and he'll fall prey to Mistum 10-4.
Like, why are you planting there? Like, a smoke is not a wall. Like, yes, it sounds like I'm being harsh, but that is why you lost the round. You planted for long in the cubby in open. A smoke is not a wall. They made a flash, they did not bomb plant, they went out the 2v1. Plant for plat. If they try and make their play, you can stick the bomb plant, then your teammate long can flash for you and fight the side. Completely different scenario, right? But Goliath, a big misplay, allows ATK to post double digits on their CT side.
Yeah, great work. ATK have done a fantastic job to make the scoreline as drastic as it is, because it wasn't looking likely at one point. I say it wasn't looking likely, it definitely was, but Goliath Gaming have had such close rounds, Nick. They've had such close rounds, so I mean, this could have been a 10-4 scoreline for Goliath if a few of those rounds had just been ever so slightly different.
Could have been, but it does look like Goliath are going to try the CT drop, but train up cat. Mango's only going to be good for one on the side with the continuation flash from ADM, but missed him. He's already in the back line. He's got one pushing a molly and pushing the issue. 2 mollies in response, and 4v2 is going to be the retake for ATK. Adara is going to take out Mistum, and now they're going to reposition over towards short. The bomb is planted for them, so they can play towards this side of the map. But now the idea is for ATK, surely you let the long player take contact first, had the short player come in for the backstab. I thought that would have been the game plan, but it does seem it's going to be different. Now they've got a molly to... Now the bomb plant, no smoke is going to be on ATK's side. So Blaze, he's just going to stick it. He's going to stick it.
Oh no,
no he's not. He's got off it, but now they can molly it. Now they've won the round.
Yeah. Molly is going to be landing on the mark. Yeah,
that's
will be coming through. No, is he going to be able to get the defuse in time? He will. Nick, he's done it. Blaze has found the defuse and ATK have won the round. 11-4 is the score on the door. And Goliath Gaming, the writing is on the wall. Oh man, Nick, they just can't catch a break, bruv. They just can't catch a break. This is ATK have got some presence behind them right now, which is Oh, giving them some sort of extra mojo. Look at how close these rounds have been, Nick. I'm just going to read out the numbers of players that stayed alive in each of the rounds ATK won, okay? 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 2. So there was only one round in that entire half that ATK won where they kept more than 3 players alive, Nick. One round out of 11.
Dude, this game has been on a knife's edge the whole time, and ATK, ADM, rather, switch up a couple letters over there. Just got the opening kill on the pistol round. I'll hold my thought for what I was about to say, but ADM.
Oh my, there we go, there we go.
Blood splattered on the wall. Missed him 1v5? Yeah, you heard about that time?
Oh my god, Nick.
It was actually against the NMK on the Mirage.
Coming.
That's what I was referring
actually, I kind of seem to remember that one.
Exactly, that's why I brought it up.
I wasn't
trying to
speak
speak something into existence.
No, of course.
I was actually saying, you remember that time you 1v5 against the NMK? Heartbreak may or may not have been playing in that game as well. But,
yeah, tough times. Tough times don't last, only tough people do.
True.
I'm gonna get that tattooed to my forehead.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. Oh, that's good in this world.
That'll get me on the front page of Reddit, and I can try use that to propel my casting career, man.
Oh, yeah. And that'll get you all the casting jobs in the future as well.
Oh, for sure, G. Okay, gonna be a test towards middle here. Dweezil forced back after missing his initial shot. Slowy doesn't miss his onto Elusive, however, and that's given a lot of room now for the T side to work with. Slowy's gonna be making his way onto the A site. And this is going to have to be a retake for Goliath, Nick. After winning that pistol round so convincingly, it looked like they could try and set themselves in motion here, but things have jarred now. And they're going to have to retake with the one-man disadvantage. Tech 9's util remaining. There's no kit, Nick. There's no kit either for the CT side, and it's not like they're in very forward positions right now. Time is of the essence here for the CT side. There's a backstab coming through from Mistim as well. He has to take down Massacre, and he will. That's going to be giving Blaze a little bit more room to work with. Can Blaze even find one frag is the question. Mistim forcing the issue. He knows he has to get in on the mix. Trying to get this kill towards long. He will be able to pull out the Tech 9, tapping away. He gets found out by Adara, and thankfully Goliath Gaming are able to get the retake down.
Yeah, Goliath, they almost would have wished they brought up an SMG and some utility that round, but they went for the preferred rifle approach, and ultimately they win it out. ATK, they do make it competitive, at least only two people staying alive, and they're just gonna eco into this one. It was a force buy from ATK in the last, so Goliath, they worked hard to win that round, and they did it in good stead. Now it's just gonna be an eco from ATK, and hopefully if you're Goliath, you win this one out, right?
I mean, hopefully, yes, definitely. To say the least, not only win this one out, but win it convincingly as well. As you can see, there were 3 FAMASs and 2 M4s and no money in the bank. Bursting their way in towards middle right now, looking to try and overwhelm the CT defense. Massacre finds one and gets some damage down as well, so this should be a meal for Maverick here, and it is. Good work by Goliath. Oh, I was going to say to keep 4 players alive, but Slowy makes it 3. So that's going to be keeping their economy in check as we head into this first gun round here. And this is where things are going to be heating up. This is when ATK are really going to be asking some serious questions of the CT defense.
I agree. They've got the 5 Kalashnikovs on the board, and it was an 11-4 scoreline, and we always speak about how dangerous that scoreline is. And Goliath, they need to have one hell of a CT side. They found themselves 4 rounds behind ATK, and this is the time they need to dig deep. Long control is going to go the way of ATK, so now Goliath at stage 2 of the round. You've lost long, that was your initial goal. Now you're going to take short. It's all about that push and pull. You lose long, you take short. You can't fall prey to both those positions at the same time.
Yeah.
Slowy, sick molly, dude. Big, nice lineup on that one.
Big fan.
And I think they missed the hinge smokes. Everything going well.
Alright. Everything's fine. This is fine. And now ATK, they don't have many options available but to just commit to this A hit right now. Wall of smokes to allow them to get across towards the side. Looks like ADM wants to try and contest them, but it's going to be Elusive through the smoke who finds the first, and ADM off the back of that is able to find a kill as well. He dropped a smoke there, a little bit of a one-way for him to peer underneath. Blaze though, finding 2 frags of his own. Massacre, did he just push through that smoke?
Yes.
Okay, so that's actually given ATK a way into this round perhaps. 2 versus 3 is far more digestible than 2 versus 4.
It's long flank. They're on borrowed time. They gotta try clear out this.
Oh no, they've both been spotted now without finding the frag though. So Blaze has the info at least. Hasn't cost them a life. Blaze stepping out now, wants to try and find this frag, but he'll end up losing his life, and that leaves Fady in a practically unwinnable position. So 11-8, Goliath Gaming, they win the first gun round here, Nick. They stand tall with that tough round, and they keep 3 players alive as well. So we're on for a game here on Dust 2, mate.
Yeah, I agree. The bomb plant did go the way of ATK, so that allows them to get a full reinvestment into the next. No AWP on Slowy, which is something to keep in mind. There's no AWP you can push and pull with. There's no AWP you can contact B with, pick long with, take short fights with, etc., etc. Not afforded that luxury. However, they are just going to go for the 5 AK approach. They're going to take long once more. They did get this area of the map last time, however. They weren't able to win the round. Slowly tried to make some presence toward mid, and ultimately a bit of missed utility was his demise. But Goliath, they seem like they've forfeited long, and they haven't actually retaken short. So that's going to be interesting. They could fall prey, and they do understand that this is a possibility, the short pinch coming out. However, they're just going to throw utilities towards short to ensure that if there was a player there, that they can push them back. But ATK, they've just gone quiet, and they've actually bled quite a bit of utility from the Goliath side.
Yeah. There's still over a minute left on the clock here. ATK have got options available, but the nucleus of the team is towards long right now. Slowly looking for a timing push go through middle, but the timing is going to work out against him as Dweezil catches him off guard. He thought he might have identified a gap there to exploit and maybe catches off one of the CTs towards long, but not the case. Missed him still towards the speed bomb side, also patiently waiting for a push to come through. Well, in the meanwhile, ADM will find Fady towards long with a nice shot indeed, and he follows it up with the shot onto Mango as well. Missed him has to activate towards B, but it just feels like there's too much damage that's already been done in a round. Blaze, not only does he have to retrieve the AWP, he has to try and avoid ADM as well. All in the meantime, though, Muslim is taking names, but he will eventually go down, and that should be the beginning of the end here. Blaze, left by himself, will suffer the same fate as his fallen teammates. ADM with 3 in the round is starting to heat up.
Yeah, ADM starting to heat up. And
check the numbers, actually, by the way. Hello, Massacre.
Yeah, Massacre's been popping off. He had a super solid T side, and he brought that over into the CT side. But ATK, I just want to mention they seem to just lose a couple, they just seem to lose track of what's going to happen. They get long control, and after that, they don't seem to have a stage 2. They don't seem to know what's going to happen next. Are they going to pinch the A sides? Are they going to go back and retake short? Or are they just going to do the cross smokes and walk up? They seem to wait for other contact throughout the other side of the map, and when you wait for that contact, you can fall prey, and what ADM has done is fallen prey to Slowy. Elusive going to be the next to try reel things back, but he's now in no man's land.
Yeah, he probably falls there as well. No, actually able to rectify the situation, and he does take down Slowy, and he gets himself in position here to take the fight with Fady just in time as well. His former Bravado teammate will actually be besting him in that very important duel. Mango finds the door, and it's falling apart here for Goliath Gaming in this anti-eco round. Dweezil finally gets a frag back, but there's still a lot of work to be done here for himself and Massacre in the 2 versus 3. AWP dropped across to Muslim as well, so they're going to be saving Nick. They're calling time on the round. It's a good decision as well, because if they lose this round without and they don't complete the retake and they both go down, then there's no money in the bank for the next round, and ATK probably surge ahead. So I like this decision. Cut your losses, accept the 12-9, and buy up in the next round.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's not going to be the same story as we saw last night, where you have like 2 weasels, we said weasels were strong in numbers. It's not going to be like you wait for one to die, and then you're like, oh, now's my time to save. Goliath, they're actually going to save both of them. And look at the economy. ADM can purchase up for himself. Maybe Dweezil drops over an MP9 to Elusive, so you can get a couple piece of utility. Massacre can also drop over an M4. So they actually have a really good buy, all things considered. And I think that's why, it's actually ATK taking attack forward just to reassess their options. I think they understand that they seem to have hit a brick wall on the T side, bar last round, obviously. They get long control. What's phase 2? They just seem to run out of ideas from then. They got success in last round. Maybe that's a hole that they found that they can abuse. Give them long. They seem to Goliath seem to fall prey to those short fights, even when they have that long control. So that's all the stuff that's going to be going through ATK's brain right now.
Yeah, I missed them using this opportunity, probably with Spray as well, to, as you say, just assess the situation and talk about how they want to approach this next round. They know it's an important one as well, because if ATK can win this round, it's 13-9 and there's no money in the bank, so 14-9 all but guaranteed. So on the flip side to that, big round here for Goliath Gaming, Nick. Remember, they're down 1-0 in the series here in the winner bracket final. So this is one of those map-defining rounds. Dweezil with the AWP in hand is going to be one of the key factors here for the CT side.
Yeah, without a doubt.
has the AWP as well, by the way. Is that a spawn towards long? No, it's actually a spawn towards B. But they're all facing long, so he probably peeks middle while the rest of his team take long control, maybe. I mean, Slowy's got the long spawn, so you'd think he'd get the AWP, maybe? I don't know.
I think he's just going to doubly key the corner, yeah.
Yeah.
Fady smoked the corner, and Mango's actually going to throw the smoke for the one-way in the long doors, and that's going to extinguish the molly, which allows them to get out. And Goliath, they've actually greeted them with 4 their own way, so Slowy's going to be the first to fall. He's not going to get any numbers. He was full blind, and he's taken out by one player flash. That's all the information that he was awarded towards that position. Now ATK, again, what's your stage 2? What's your phase 2? You've lost long control. We've seen them win long control in these gun rounds, and they seem to fall short, but now looks like they're going to make a mid play. Players walking down mid, and Mustim's going to flash them in. ADM is close, and he is blind. He is behind the smoke, and he is in the coffin. He's 6 feet under. Mango.
Yeah.
Going to get traded out by Masker towards CT, and Luciv, he's trained towards long. Fady's going to get taken down. In all honesty, ATK, their gun rounds aren't looking too solid.
Yeah, getting picked apart a little bit across the map right now, and the Goliath Gaming, they've got a two-man advantage here in the round to try and drive this one home. What do? Mistim and Blaze. The ones to try and get the job done. Going to be seeing the first smoke towards short to try and give them that initial buffer to get out towards the bomb site. No AWP here on long for the CTs, so they don't have to contest the AWPs, but there are still the AKs, and Adaro towards ramp is in position as well. But he's not taking the fight. You can see it's Elusive who's taking contact. Massacre coming through with the flank. He'll be finishing off the round as he picks up a double kill. Adds 2 more to his tally. He goes up to 28 frags here in 22 rounds. And Goliath Gaming keep themselves in the hunt by winning that all-important round, and they pick up the second AWP for free, Nick. So that's going to be a nice boost to their economy.
Yeah, Masker's looking really good. 28 and 15. He's looking super solid.
Yeah. This is the Massacre we know and love, right? Big round here. What are ATK doing? They're just going to be setting themselves up. I thought maybe a quick B play on the cards, but not the case. But ATK know how big this round is, Nick.
Yeah, definitely. And they've warded off this long control coming out from Goliath with one flashbang. Slowy has received an AWP shot through the Xbox, which is actually going to be the reason why he's still alive with us today. Oh, good nade. Missed him, and Blaze taken down super low. It's not going to finish off Slowy, however, but short control is going to be awarded to ATK, but Weasel's going to get 2. Blaze with the trade eventually, and now the A bomb site is vacant.
Still a big play there from Dweezil.
Play post plant, surely. Yeah, big play from Dweezil, 100%.
The fact that he finds the second kill is actually what leaves his team in a winnable position here, because if he only goes down with the 1 frag, it means it's a 4 versus 3, the 1-man advantage for ATK. They probably don't even have an attempt at it, but now because it's even numbers, Goliath Gaming are going to set themselves up to try and make something happen. 2 players towards long, waiting for the molly to extinguish, and now they're going to be starting to make their way forward. Fady going to be their first point of contention, and when Fady's your first point of contention, life is going to be very, very difficult. Buries bullets in the brains, and ATK make the post plant look easy. 13-10. They just continue to pile the pressure here on Goliath Gaming. That's the thing, is even when ATK is looking a bit messy, Nick, it's still just such a tough game against them.
Yeah, because then it just comes up to the individuals, even though they're not winning the early picks, etc., etc. But when a single individual has to step up, like Fady did last round, he did exactly that in leaps and bounds and ensured the round was going to go ATK's way. Yeah. Masker seems to try to find this hole towards middle, but he's going to get taken out by Blaze. This is Nico round from Goliath, so if they win, it is going to be a gift. ATK are going to try to push short. ADM's got a P250, he's got a double dink. Mistim's down to 77 points of health, and he's going to get taken out by Doris. Now things are touch and go for ATK. Slowy has spotted ADM over towards shorts, and he's going to try to push the issue with the dualies. But there's a play in lowers. What the hell is going on in this one?
Oh, but Dweezil only has a USP, unfortunately. Oh, how he would have loved to have any other pistol. Fady with the bomb. He needs to get himself across to the speed bomb side. Dweezil going to look for the timing. He comes around the corner. Elusiv's got an AK. He picks up a frag as well. So the 2 versus 2 as the chaos continues here in this eco round for Goliath Gaming. But Blaze looks to restore normality, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Mr. Reliable finds the 2 frags, and 14-10 is the score. Guys, let's announce the winner of the giveaway of the 250 Rand Steam voucher and see who's going to become my next best friend.
$250, dude. Oh, yeah. It's Marku.
Oh my god.
That's dog,
oh, how he would have loved if he could have put that in.
You best believe we are going to Go into Discord later. He's going to buy all of the sticker capsules and open a couple golds. That's exactly what's happening.
I mean, open it on the screen share, and there we go. Adaro with a fantastic shot there. Opens up the B bomb site, or at least slows down the offense coming through from ATK. Massacre finding one as well. ATK proportion to the wind in the round, and it looks like they might be throwing the round with that as well. It's only Fade left in the 1 versus 4, and he goes down as well. Nick, what do we always talk about when you have an anti-eco round? Don't commit to something out of spawn.
That was super rough, and I think ATK have realized it. They've actually called attack pause afterwards. You never like it when you lose the opening pick and then your teammates are inclined to feel like they need a trade, and next thing you know, everyone's falling. You try to B-pop, it just didn't work. The door is not smoked, so I think it was Elusive who had free reign with the scout, tagging players down low, and then Fady didn't have head armor running into that MP9 fight, so that was a free munch-up for that player. And up as a Maska's just dropped his 30. So 26 rounds in, Maska's got 30. He's feeling it.
Yeah. Big work coming out of him at the moment. And the economy broken here for ATK as well. So they're going to have to save. Goliath Gaming just keeping themselves in the hunter on Dust 2. Showing they still have life left in them yet. There's deals across the board. It's the deco for the T side. And if there's one team in South Africa that can win a deco round, it's ATK. And it's a very forward position taken here by ADM, and thankfully he's actually going to posture himself in a slightly more passive position. Okay, flick shot to take down Slowly. Now he gets out right. ADM, please, my heart. Okay, yeah, there we go. To safety, thank you. 5v3.
Yeah, Mistum got taken down in the meantime. So now it is a 5v3. Just eagles in hands, no utility. So all you got to do if you're ATK, just peek these angles on short together. Hopefully you can get a couple 1Ds going your way. A bomb plant will be an added bonus. But this looks like a last round.
Run boost, and it's going to be running into the death, boosting into the heavens, and put down into hell. Fady does find one back onto ADM. I mean, a bomb plant here would be a mini victory in itself for the T side, considering they did just start off with the eco. Maybe another frag here as well, just to keep Goliath's gaming economies honest. Mango is going to be the last one to have an opportunity to do that, and he's not connecting on any of shots. 14-12, Goliath Gaming, with a near flawless round there. Set themselves up very nicely. I mean, they're keeping themselves in the hunter, Nick. They're applying pressure, but it just feels like they're always in a position where they're making a comeback against ATK. They're not the ones who are ahead 14-12, and it's ATK who have to fight back, right? It's just, they're always just behind the game.
Yeah, 100%. And imagine if Goliath didn't lose those 5v3s on the CT side, on the T side rather. Yeah, it's just like all those things, all of them. You remember them, especially when you lose the game. I'm not saying Goliath are going to lose the game. They seem as if they're actually favorites. Their gun rounds have been convincing. But when the result doesn't go your way, you always think about what could have gone right instead of what went wrong.
Slowly up close, looking to try and set this round right. He's not going to be flashed up on the angle. Takes down Weasel up close though. Massacre able to trade it out. And he keeps himself alive for the time being. He's got support from Elusive as well up on shorts at the moment. The T is desperately trying to hunt down Massacre, and they will be able to find the frag. Elusive spraying down will take down Blaze as well, and he's going to be getting out alive in the meantime. Both ADM and Adaro have been able to find a frag each, so they've thinned ATK's numbers down just to one player. It's the captain and EGL left remaining here in the round, 1 versus 3, and they know exactly where he is as well. So this is practically unwinnable for Mistum as he walks into Adaro's crosshair. 14-13, Goliath Gaming are making it happen here on Dust 2. It's going to be an eco for ATK, so this should be the scores being leveled after this round. And now we're going to have the 4th timeout. Spray going to be marching or commanding some orders here to his troops, trying to rectify the situation.
Yeah, I think ATK, they just got to go back to what they found success in. Like, maybe throw the long fake early. You know you've been pulling numbers towards that side of the map. You know Goliath, rather, have been throwing an AWP solo over towards short, which, yes, can get some work done, but when added with numbers, then he's going to have a rough time. Best case scenario, he's going to get 1. So if you're ATK, maybe a fast short play could be on the cards with the long fake to keep the long players entertained. You know they've been throwing 1 or 2 players there when they try to get long control, but they've been giving it up pretty recently. So try catch Goliath in transition, right? And then single out that short player, possibly get that AWP out of the round, and then you can short exec, you can go back long, etc., etc. There's all stuff you can do, but Goliath, they're going to go for a 2-1-2. It does look like it could be a fast mid to B play on the cards from the side of ATK, or at least maybe they do a hinge smoke, jump up short. Short exec could be what they're looking at. all stuff like that. But they have faked the long. Fady, he's just going to be holding this aggro, as they are just going to jump up short. See how they can spread Goliath thin across the map and see if they can take control of this map once more.
Still got some util in the reserves. Yeah, a couple smokes and flashes as well. One of the flashes used towards middle. Dweezil with a nice shot there will be taking down Mistum on the slightest of angles, and that's going to be setting things in motion here as Adara takes down Mango as well. And I think that's given the clue now to ATK that they should be going towards the A site. They've noticed there's 3 players over on that B-bomb site. ADM flashed off, will be missing the first shot, but there's no more further util here. So he's kind of going to have free reign on the site, though. They are able to bypass him for the time being, at least Blaze was, because he ducked. Slowy didn't, and now we see why you ducked when you crossed the road, kids.
Yeah, that's why you lean down. Obviously, for people who don't know, when you look down towards the floor, your model becomes smaller. Ultimately, you're not able to get caught by that off angle hold towards long.
I mean, it feels super counterintuitive, right? Because you have to look into the ground and hold control. And go forward into the bomb site. It's like, yeah, no one's gonna peek me from A, no one's gonna peek me from Goose or ramp. I'm just gonna walk forward. This is fine.
What's not fine is ATK's gun rounds. I don't think they've won many gun rounds at all this T side. I think they found most success in the ecos.
Yeah,
there was one gun round they won with like Fady getting a 2k towards long. If you remember way back when, they won an eco round. Did they win pistol?
Well, Massacre nearly gets caught off. Himself and Fady trading blows, but in the meantime, ADM has been able to find a frag. He's been an absolute nuisance with ATK. He constantly... Oh, yeah, he was on short, right? Yeah, he was. Constantly having a presence here towards short. And again, ATK losing the early play in the round, and Dweezil's find Slowy as well. Oh, man. Pick after pick here, and it's not like ATK are getting to anything in response. Finally, Fady will find something in the round, which is going to give them some room to wiggle here. And Mango's being heard out by Elusive. He will be able to get himself up towards short, and they're going to be making their way onto the save bomb site, where ADM lies in wait, open hand. If he can just find one pick here, he leaves his team in a great position. The Molly will be isolating Mistum, but that doesn't matter. Mistum just on the drive-by will find the frag. And now it's a 3v3.
Or Adaro, he's caught up by the sound cue or the smoke. Thinks that he's left, but Mango, he's only going to be good for one in that sort of scenario. So now it's Elusive and Dweezil left in the 2v2. Mistum has got an AWP train towards the elbow position. The bomb is planted. Safe, I think. But this round could go anyone's way.
2 versus 2, all important round. Jova wins this, gets himself to map point. If it's ATK, they get themselves to map and match points. Goliath will definitely be going for this because of the money that they have left in the bank, and Mistum misses his first shot. He's being forced off the angle by the flashes. Has got support from Fady as well down the range. Fady hits his shot onto Dweezil, and now it's just Elusive left. He was hoping to try and find the frag on the AWP while his teammate waited there forward, but it didn't go according to plan. ATK, after again being dropped down into the 3 versus 5, are able to win the round, Nick. Oh man, it's just heartbreaking stuff for Goliath Gaming. Seriously heartbreaking stuff.
Yeah, I think in that 2v2 retake, you can't really do much. You've got 2 flashes to work with, so what's the play? Do one of you jump towards CT and the next person sets you up for a flash for a long peek? Like, it's so hard to win that round, especially with an open play that Mistum used to good effect towards the ramp. And Fady, what a mechanically gifted player he is. He's going to munch those up, and there's been no individual step up from ATK this map. None of them are playing out of their minds. Yes, Fady has had a couple important rounds here and there.
Yeah.
Their CT side looks super solid, but their T side is where it looks like this is probably the first time I've ever said this, but it looks like ATK need to work on their T side. You can quote me on that. First time I've ever said that.
Doesn't that feel good, Nick?
I've never said that. Yeah, exactly. I've never said that before in my life.
Looks like they want to just try and keep things super simple here to finish off this map. It's going to be a late long take. Elusive's here by himself right now. Going to be hoping to channel some Mango heroics. He got the triple spray down, even though he was completely blinded in this position in the previous half. And Elusive almost definitely going to be fully blinded as well. You can see that the flash is already lined up, and there we go. Fully blinded he is. He does get 1 on the spray, but that's all it's going to be. So it's a 4 versus 4. And there's a lot of time left on the clock here. ATK don't necessarily have to commit to this A hit, but something tells me they will be.
Oh. ADM just missing that AWP shot towards that play and pit.
Look at the flank, by the way. Massacre. So far up towards the top of middle already. Slowly takes down ADM, but Massacre's still going to look to have an effect here. Mistum is holding the angle and he destroys Massacre. That was the bomb carrier as well, so risky play there. But you got to risk it to get the biscuits. And ATK, they're the best in the business for a reason. And that ain't no bakery business. This is a Counter-Strike powerhouse right now. Adaro and Dweezil, the two players left, have to win a 2 versus 4 if Goliath Gaming are going to take this game to overtime and keep themselves alive on Dust 2. And Dweezil gets it off to the perfect start by finding Mango, but that's only the first step of many. And they look to try and make this retake happen. Adaro and Dweezil kicking their way forward up short. They do not have any further util. Mistum gives himself a smoke to work with as well as Slowy gives him the assistance. Dweezil does find that pick though. Now they can start to focus their way onto the A bomb side, but Mistum does take down the AWPer, and it's only Adaro left. He gets taken down as well. 16-14. ATK have done it again. They found a way to win, as they always do. Even when things aren't going their way, they're able to grind out the victory. And Nick, they are 2-0 victors here in the winner bracket final, and they march on to the grand final in EGL 1 Season 2.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, their T side looked really, really touch and go. That was the 11-4 CT side, and their T side to ATK is something we attribute to them being really, really strong, really powerful, convincing, is what we've said multiple times. And on Dust 2, it just wasn't the case. However, and it's a big however, they were still able to get it across the line. 5 was the magic number they needed on the T side, and that's what they got. Yes, it did go 30 rounds. Yes, it did go touch and go, but they got 5 rounds, and that was all that mattered.
That's exactly it, Nick. Let's get a bit of input here from one of the players themselves. We have got an interview with Slowy from ATK, guys. Let's get him in here and let's hear his thoughts on the game. There he is. Welcome, Mr. Aaron. Congratulations. It's a little bit of a stock standard thing at this point. You guys have made it to the final as you always do. But let's talk a little bit about this game, right? Let's go all the way back to the beginning. The veto, did it go as you expected, or was there a curveball with Goliath picking Dust 2 instead of Inferno?
First of all, I'll just say hello, everybody.
Okay.
I think when it came to the veto, we didn't really mind whatever map they were going to pick. Like, we knew that the veto was going to be pretty much stock standard. We didn't know if they were going to pick something similar to what they did for the ESCA finals. But I mean, even when it came to those matches, we watched our demos, we saw what they did, and we knew immediately that they had changed their entire game. So for example, for Mirage, the last time we played them, it was, I think we expected like a 1-3-1 on their T side, and this time they did a 2-1-2 of Adam just going middle by himself. So obviously for me, that was a bit strange. Like, I wasn't expecting that. So they kind of changed their whole game plan for that map, and then it seems like for this Mirage as well that they changed it up again. So I'm like, it was pretty good, but I think on Dust I felt very off.
I mean, we'll speak about Dust now. It did look a bit touch and go from your point, from every. I'm not going to say your point of view as in singling out you, but everyone's point of view on ATK. It seems like you guys had a bit of a war. But anyway, we'll take things back to Mirage. It's been pretty comfortable for you guys, pretty much throughout the whole time in your guys' reign, if you will. I don't think you've dropped Mirage pretty much to anyone. I think DNMK have pushed you close. Obviously, Goliath have pushed you close as of recent, but tonight looked convincing. So what is different tonight compared to Wednesday? Wednesday it went 30 rounds, super close, but tonight it looked comfortable.
I think when it, majority of the times whenever we scrim Goliath on Mirage, they do the exact same stuff that they would do like they did tonight. So they kind of went back to their original kind of style. And whenever we played them, I think the last time we scrimmed them, it was we hit them pretty hard in terms of the scrim, and the majority of the stuff that we did kind of worked for us. But I think the reason why yesterday was off is because they completely just changed the way that they played that map. So it was more we were expecting, Adaro to be by himself at one of the sides of the map. Okay, cool, go push Adaro, and we know that there's no one else going to be there. So then this time around, it was exactly as we planned for yesterday. So our game plan for Wednesday worked exactly the same today. So
Yeah, so you just carried the same blueprints across essentially, and now it was applied and it was actually relevant, right? Whereas on Wednesday it wasn't actually the blueprint you guys needed. So that makes sense. Yeah, good job there on Mirage. I mean, it was a fairly easy victory, 16-7. Shifting across into Dust 2 Goliath's map, that first half, the scoreline didn't really do it justice. I mean, you guys were ahead 7-0 at one stage, but those rounds were so incredibly close. What was the mind? How were you guys feeling in that first half? Even though you were so far ahead, those rounds were so closely contested.
The rounds were quite like touch and go, but like overall our comms and stuff were reasonably good. I myself had like an off game because I didn't really know like where I can actually go for a peak, because it's, I mean, majority of the teams now, whenever they watch our demos, they tend to like wait for me to push somewhere, get a kill, and then they'll sit there and be like, hey, hold on, he's gonna re-peak, let me just wait for him. And then as soon as I do get like picked, it's like, okay, now I've got to watch my team for the next minute and a half pretty much. But I think when it came to Dust, our CT we've been working on quite hard. Me, Voljean, and Blaze have been working on our side there pretty hard, and I think that's why our CT side was a lot better. But I think on top of that, like when you work on one side, like on either CT side or T side, if you work on one side, your other side starts getting affected, and I think that's why our T side was a little bit shaky in that kind of point.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about your T side because as you said, your CT side was really, really solid. You come into the second half, you lose the pistol, and then it just felt like you lost round after round after round. And then you won an eco round, and straight after that eco round, you actually called the double tack before that big buy round. So I just wanted to know from your point of view, what is being said in the TS going into that buy round? Because obviously it was quite big. You guys weren't really having success. You were taking long and then losing picks around the map afterwards. So what was said during that double tack? Obviously double tack, people in South Africa don't really take tacks full stop, and then you guys took one back to back. So what is said during that time?
In that scenario, they kept countering like every single thing we did, and I think it was more along the lines of like we weren't doing the things that we actually practiced. So for example, like the one round that I can point out is whenever we went long, instead of me going along with the team and doing my normal like routine, I sat there and said, hey, maybe I should just go middle and find a gap instead of like doing the stuff that we actually have practiced. So a lot of the T side things were on me. I was doing a lot of things like rushing down middle. You know, Mass traded me when I killed, I think it was Dweezil. And so I was doing a lot of dumb things that we don't normally do. So it's just more along myself that I need to sort out transitioning from practice into official.
So that double tack was sort of just like a snap out of it sort of thing.
Yeah, it was like okay, everyone, we practice specific things for a reason. We don't need to adjust them in an official. So yeah, practice what you preach and literally just stick to it, and then it will work. So that's why majority of the rounds after the tax started going in our favor, because we were actually playing our game.
Yeah. I got one more question here for you, Slowy. As you already touched on as well, you know, when people are studying your games and watching your demos, of course, you're going to be one of the center points of why they're watching that demo and looking to try and counter you and your play style. Have you felt like you've had to sort of reestablish yourself at all as an individual and as a player and how you go about your game because teams are starting to counter you? And the second part of this question is, when you do go overseas, what sort of a play style are you going to be implementing? Because obviously then they won't know you, so they won't know that, you know, Slowy is the type of guy who's going to look to get in your face.
One of the playstyles that I'm currently working on is like a mix of art of just playing like hyper aggressive, but then playing similar to Zaiwu, where as soon as he gets a pick, he just runs to the opposite side of the map, and everyone's like, okay, this guy's probably gonna just re-aggress here, and then suddenly like I'm not there. I think when it comes to ZA teams, I think majority of the teams that actually anti-strat is more maybe Goliath, DNMK not so much, because I think most South African teams are still like, you know, making lineup changes, trying to find their own game and how they're gonna play. With Goliath, you know, they've been this roster for quite a good amount, I would say, at the moment. So them watching our demos is fine. Like the end of the day, my team doesn't need me to perform. Like, as you guys see, like if there is a day that I perform and I destroy everybody, cool, we win. That's that. If I don't perform, that's when you see Voljean, you see Mango, you see Fady, you see Mistim, you see Blaze, literally everybody putting up high numbers, because everyone's like, okay, cool, the aggressive AWP is out of the way, but you're forgetting about 4 other powerhouses on my team that can hold any angle that they want, and they can get multi-frags. So I think at the end of the day, it's just more, I need to get into my own head of not being, not thinking that I have to make the play every single time.
Yeah. 100%. And you speak about like your team having 5 solid players, obviously including yourself, and the same can be said about Goliath, like 5 super solid players, and the same can be said about DNMK. And I'm trying to segue into my next question is, you guys have booked yourself in the best of 5 grand final now, and it's now Goliath and DNMK in the low bracket final. I just want to pick your brain a bit. What do you think's going to happen? Is it going to be a 2-0 sweep from Goliath, 2-0 sweep from DNMK? What do you think's going to happen? Who do you think you're going to be facing the grand final?
Honestly, I think that like in terms of the firepower, I see that DNMK have so many days where they can literally just like sweep a server. I think even it was Sinister 5 yesterday where I think they kind of like, I think they struggled the first map, I think it was. I can't remember which map they answered. Yeah, so they struggled the first map, and then the next games were like, you know, a lot easier in that kind of sense. So I think if DNMK's main star players, like, well, not even the main star players, like Doru always performs, Heartbreak performs quite a lot of the time. Diver also, like, Diver's an essential person to perform, but I think the biggest person that like flips the coin would be Connie. Like, if Trevor actually performs, I mean, Maddie has casted so many games where Trevor gets like 4 1v4s in one game. And like, Trevor's insanely nuts, but if he actually comes prepared and if he's warmed up, then I feel like DNMK can sweep it 2-0. But in Goliath's current form, with everybody on their team actually like shooting well, I think Goliath will probably take it in like a 2-1.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a fair assessment. It's definitely going to be a close game. It's definitely one of the most entertaining games, Nick, if we think about it, that we've been casting over the past few months, is that DNMK versus Goliath Gaming matchup. But Aaron, Slowy, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us and giving us some great detailed, in-depth answers. Always great to hear your thoughts. And congrats for making getting yourselves into the final once again.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so we'll see you on Sunday. Have a great rest of your evening, mate. Nick, Goliath Gaming versus DNMK is what we have lined up for tomorrow's match. It is the lower bracket final, the consolidation final, round 2, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a fire matchup. And like I said, it's been one of the most entertaining games that you and I have actually seen in recent months. You know, from a casting perspective, DNMK versus Goliath Gaming in terms of entertainment might be as good as it gets in South African Counter-Strike.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're two extremely individually based teams. Like, if one player pops off, like as Slowy was just saying, if ADM comes to the party versus if if Kani comes to the party, like, imagine if both of those players are firing at full cylinders. That is, and even you can throw Maska, and then you can throw Diver, and then you can it's the same story as tonight. 5 super solid players are going to be coming up against one another tomorrow, and unfortunately only time will tell will be whether we're going to get Aaron's prediction of whether it's going to be a Goliath 2-1 or DNMK 2-0. Only time will tell.
Yeah, he covered a couple bases there, as they normally do. Not too keen to stick his neck out all the way, but guys, that is all that we have for you this evening. I hope that you enjoyed the Counter-Strike on display. But as I said, tomorrow is really going to be heating up. It's going to be Goliath Gaming versus DNMK. The game's on HLTV as well, so you can just check that out to get all the information as you so please. But Nick, we're going to be closing things off now. So guys, thank you for joining us tonight.
12 p.m. kickoff, by the way, tomorrow.
12 p.m. That's at CEST, guys. So we've got an earlier start, and it's going to be a great game, best of 3 between 2 of South Africans best. But until then, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your evening. From ourselves here at Evesports, we will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, keep well.